What is going on, everybody? It is episode 265 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name's Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. I hope you're all getting in the Christmas spirit. I saw someone in the chat say that the modern generation, meaning my generation, I assume, is too edgy to make Christmas music. And we were just talking about that. I think it's so true.
Yeah, because if they do, then they'll end up getting canceled because it's, religious themes and religion bad. And then you get Baby It's Cold Outside, Baby It's Cold Outside bad, sexual harassment bad, everything's bad.
White Christmas bad.
Yeah, well,
Starbucks cup
white.
Has to be plain red with no Christmas decorations. What happened to our culture?
It's a war on Christmas, Mary.
There's a war on Christmas, damn it!
We need Rush Limbaugh to weigh in, please. We needed Rush Limbaugh to weigh in with the war on Christmas. So we've got a guest host today, a very special main guest host. Would you introduce yourself, sir?
Feliz Navidad, yo. It's Dane Font
Love
here.
that.
Marketing man extraordinaire, patron saint of White Boy Summer, and drinking on the job.
And plus, you're giving us your measured, very measured response to your intro. It's just very not you. It's still not you.
I mean, I've done nearly 100 of these, and I feel like my intro has always been very low energy.
I think you've done more than 100 by now.
Really?
Well, we're on episode 265.
Well, I'm weekly, though.
Today...
Oh, yeah. Brett can't count.
Yeah.
Brett's very
Numbers.
bad at counting.
Dane is just slonking back some whiskey, some Chick-fil-A sandwiches right before we went on air. So hopefully he'll be higher energy than he was last week.
Probably not. Got the itis, maybe.
No?
I've also been corrected in the chat. They're saying, wasn't that Bill O'Reilly?
Was it? I don't remember. I just know everyone was mad about the Starbucks cups.
And
the fact that they have to say Happy Holidays.
You can't say that. And as
It's
somebody
so true, though.
I used to work at a manage a gas station, and that was a big thing. Like, they got mad with after a few years if you kept saying Merry Christmas to me, because there would always be some Karen there to yell at you and tell you that it's not Merry Christmas, it's Happy Holidays, because you're not being very
I'm
inclusive.
never coming back to this gas station ever again if you say Merry Christmas to me.
And as somebody who didn't own the place, I'm like, okay, and that hurts me. How? Less work? Oh my goodness. Whatever will I do?
I'm the type of person to take a weird principled stance about it and say Merry Christmas to everyone I see instead of obeying the rule.
Literally, somebody comes in with a Happy Kwanzaa shirt and you're like, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. They could have a shirt that says Merry Kwanzaa and I hate Christmas, and I'd be like, Merry Christmas.
I love it. I love it.
I'm a little Karen of my own sort.
You should get that. See, that's what it should be. It should be 30 crisis parties, and you have to get the Karen swoop.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Never.
You should do that.
That'll be today.
No.
That'd be good.
I don't think that the audience wants that for me. They didn't want me to dye my hair either.
Also, Karen is a term that has absolutely been infiltrated and taken. It used to just mean somebody who would go to your manager at the convenience store, manager at the Target, and yell at you. Now they made it weirdly racial, which is weird.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. James Cameron is coping hard. Okay, maybe not coping hard, but he flipped off a bunch of people.
He's crying and seething and coping. He's on heavy levels of copium right now because Avatar 2 had a disappointing opening weekend.
And we will see whether that plays into how that plays into the long-term box office for the production. But we're going to talk about those opening numbers a little bit. We're going to make fun of James Cameron a little bit. It's becoming a tradition on this show, much like Christmas and Hanukkah and all of these holidays. We're also going to talk about the inevitable news that you guys probably might have heard a little bit about on the weekend, which is that Henry Cavill is apparently a QAnon toxic gamer nerd who loves Gamergate.
He's red-pilled. He's reactionary. We're going to get into it.
We will talk about that. We are also going to talk about Girls Who Code. Mary, what is Girls Who Code?
Girls Who Code is a nonprofit creating a pipeline for young women to become programmers and engineers.
That sounds so awesome.
And we're talking about something they launched to make gaming more diverse.
And equitable. Very
yes.
Equitable, yes.
And inclusive, of course.
So we were talking about that. We're also going to talk about Matty Healy, the lead singer of the 1975, who has now got his second career coming as a bouncer at a nightclub because he's checking IDs before he gives
I love that
kisses
for
on
him.
set. Yes, we love that idea. So we're going to talk about that. No, Dane does not love that. So we got that. And then, of course, after that, you know what that is. It's meme review. Guys, We've got meme review. It's all set up.
Excited for that.
Dane, are you excited?
I am.
He's very excited. All right. If you guys are ready, we will just get right into it. Mary, are we ready?
Absolutely.
Dane, are we ready?
So much.
Let's do this. All right. So we're going to start first with the bad news that James Cameron.
No. There's some good news.
Oh,
Tom Cruise has made a special message for fans of Top Gun Maverick. Free falling out of the sky.
Look, I don't care if all of this is panderfest to the maximum. I don't care if he's lying about every bit of this. Lie to me. Lie to me, Tom. It's okay. I get it. You're a Scientologist. That's fine. Lie to me.
Let's watch it together.
All right.
Hey everyone! Here we are over stunning South Africa, and we're filming Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Parts 1 and 2. And I didn't want the year to end without thanking you all for coming out to the theaters, and thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick.
I love this guy.
Hey, kids, Chris McCoy.
So doesn't it feel like he just wants to die?
Hi everybody, hey.
Die of awesomeness.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, we really gotta roll. We gotta get this shot. Oh yeah, we're filming. We gotta get this shot. All right, are you coming? Not on your life. Good luck. Okay. We'll see you down there.
It does feel very Death Wishes.
Oh! Where was I? Oh yeah, thank you for supporting
What?
Top Gun Maverick. As always, thank you for allowing us to entertain
He just
you.
keeps going?
It truly is the honor of a lifetime. Yeah.
He would love to die for his craft. I know that he's secretly hoping to die.
I'm running out of altitude, so I better get back to work. We gotta get this shot. You have a very
Dude, the
safe
shot's okay.
and happy
We got the
holiday.
shot.
Yeah, we got the shot. Open
Please
the
activate your
parachute.
parachute, please. We got the shot.
I want the sweet embrace of death.
Ah! It'd be so funny if we just saw the
Dude,
splash at the end into the water.
All I'm saying is even if he doesn't mean like a single thing, I don't care. He's
when I
so
sent
good at
this
lying,
clip
I
to
don't
you,
even care.
I quoted that part where he says, "Thank you for allowing us to entertain you. It is the honor of a lifetime." Just whether or not that's genuine, think about that as a deviation from the rhetoric we normally get from Hollywood, which
we
is
hate
just
to entertain you
we hate you. Shut up and give us your money
and consume
and be a good little consumer. In contrast now to James Cameron calling testosterone a toxin and quite literally giving his own audience the middle finger.
Yep. Speaking of middle finger, we will I would love to rant about this for 15 minutes about how awesome Tom Cruise is, but people might get the wrong idea.
That you're a Scientologist?
That I'm a Scientologist.
The correct factual idea that you are a Scientologist? Yes.
Okay, we're moving on. So,
have you ever taken the test to see your power level?
I've never taken the test.
Let's get it.
So we could do that one day.
Can we do that?
In complete contrast to everything that Tom Cruise just did, so James Cameron was walking out of a building and he decided to give the middle finger to autograph seekers, right? He must be coping slightly with the fact that Avatar: The Way of Water opened to $434 million worldwide. It was predicted to make about $525 million. It opened to $134 million domestically. It was predicted at $175 to $200 million. So it came in under its number. Now, the funny thing about this is I like the movie. I thought it was a good movie. I think it's actually worth seeing, especially if you've got a family and you're looking for a way to kill 3 hours. If if you've got kids that can sit still for that long,
that's rare.
That is a rare thing. I enjoyed the movie and I thought it was quite good, at least in the context that it takes the CGI fest that we're used to and at least layers in a little bit of decent social commentary that's done in a way that's not completely over the top and part of themes that we don't normally hear much about these days, which are family positive themes, unless you're watching the Hallmark Channel.
Do you have to watch the first one to like it?
No.
I don't think you have to watch the first one to like it, but you might be confused about certain aspects of it.
Certain things wouldn't make it, but it's it doesn't take away from your enjoyment of the movie. And visually,
still been many years since I watched the first one last, so you don't need to rewatch it, even though they did re-release it before.
So James Cameron was leaving the Writers Guild of America building in
kind of
Beverly Hills.
sussy, right? As they're about to strike.
What was he doing? Was he there to advocate on their behalf, or was he is it part of a secret cabal that he wants to stop them from not going on strike. He went there to sabotage the talks.
Yeah. So all of these people out there were looking for pictures and autographs, and then he flips the bird at the camera or at the fans.
Here's the
it's
video.
unclear. Let's look.
They're booing him.
Boom.
Fuck Avatar! Avatar!
Is it people from the Writers Guild?
It's people striking because but
people from the Writers Guild though?
so they're striking, but that's
so why was he at the building then? That's what I'm wondering.
Like,
who is he meeting with?
See, we need that movie.
We need the inside info.
I want that documentary. I don't give a crap about the Fablemans.
Where
I don't
are
care
the
about
anonymous
Steven Spielberg.
sources when you need them, right? So he gives them the middle finger, which kind of makes him seem like he's seething and he's not able to take the heat.
That was a very unique cuss word that person gave that I shan't repeat on air.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, well,
I mean, maybe we shouldn't play it again if it's too spicy for YouTube. But he feigns this like ballsy attitude, like he's so confident in the success of Avatar 2 that he doesn't care what you think about Avatar 2. He knows you'll watch it.
Must be the
he
record.
doesn't need to show respect to the viewers or to his own fan base or to people who criticize him. But really, it's this kind of betrays he's kind of bitter. He's realizing that maybe he is getting called on his bluff about the 2 billion benchmark to break even. So you say that they're necessarily gonna force this to 2 billion no matter what.
Well, the first Avatar
they're just gonna keep
Yeah.
releasing it over and over until they reach the number.
The first Avatar got many re-releases that helped it get to the number it got to. Also, this movie has the
But it had
benefit.
critical acclaim.
This one has more fan acclaim than critical acclaim, and that should be better.
The critics were also going crazy for it. Like it was all positive from what I saw.
And the fans seem to like this more than the critics. And let's face it, critics' opinions mean literally nothing in 2022. This movie needs extremely long legs to make $2 billion. But here's the thing: the first Avatar made, I think, 70% of its money overseas. So this movie making $134 million domestically isn't really a huge fail.
I find it kind of confusing that both the first Avatar and this one have winter releases.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars became a winter release haven too.
But wouldn't you think from just like the theme of it that it would be a summer release?
Yeah,
I don't know. And then it would make it easier for full like families to go see it when it came out on a weekday. I don't really get the vision here other than that he just thinks every living, breathing person on the globe is going to watch this 5 times, which is delusional. I mean, I feel like it's the same as Rings of Power. They say this is going to be successful because it has to be successful, and we're going to AstroTurf it all the way there. Yeah. And because we're in a post-profit age, which we keep saying, it means that these films are more like money laundering schemes than entertainment at this point.
The movie said, I saw something that said that it could make 1.5 billion if it has like extremely long legs. It pulled in 50 something million from China, but
it needs 2.
Needs to make supposedly 2 to break even. But like, here's the thing, like, jeez. China box office making 50 something million, even if that's good, doesn't really matter because in America you keep 60% of the box office profits. In China you keep less than that. You only keep 25%, and the Communist Party keeps the other 75%. So they're not really taking home that much there. So it needs very, very low week to week drops, meaning like it can't have 60% drops from week 1 to week 2. It needs to be in the 40s. It needs to be in the like.
We'll see by the end of this week then.
I'm guessing the first week will be a 50%. Like usually 50% is pretty standard. Like you're going to get a 50% drop from week 1 to week 2. But after that, it needs Top Gun Maverick level drops of like 20 to 30% at most. If it's going to get to $2 billion. And I just don't think that that's really plausible. Plus, 62% of the screenings were in premium formats like IMAX and 3D. That helps because you pay more to see IMAX and 3D. So if those numbers continue high and they're getting higher ends on
I'm not sure about that because 3D was a huge part of the hype for the first one because it was this new technology that they implemented, and now that it's older, I don't know if that many people care about that aspect of it anymore.
62% of the tickets sold in the first week were 3D and IMAX.
who goes to see 3D movies anymore? I don't even see it on offer that often anymore.
They make me dizzy.
I didn't
see it for Jurassic World Dominion even.
I didn't see a breakdown of which amount of that was IMAX and which amount of that was 3D. I just know that they said premium formats. But people go see IMAX. People love IMAX movies. That's what the whole point. Did you guys watch the trailer for Oppenheimer?
I did.
It's like that's going to be meant to be seen in IMAX. Like to see that explosion, however he recreates it, will be meant to see.
He'll recreate it by just nuking the entire Earth.
There's a great meme. It says it's the picture of the headline. It says to Christopher Nolan recreates nuclear explosion for Oppenheimer. It says the cameraman is just a guy with no face and holding a camera because he got blown up by a nuclear explosion. So
I want to read some of these responses. One person said that this is the best thing James Cameron has done since Terminator 2.
The movie or him flipping off?
Flipping off the people. Another person said Hollywood hates you. They want your money.
Yep.
And
not
another
Tom
person
Cruise.
said
Tom Cruise loves you and wants your money.
Other people were in support of
die
it.
for
They
you.
said it was based, and they said respect to this man. Clearly, they're fake fans that just wanted his autograph to sell it online.
Wait. So this just in, guys. James Cameron, anti-union. James Cameron does not want unions. James Cameron is for the man.
I just can't tell if he's based or if he's a pretentious a-hole, but
He's a pretentious a-hole.
Can you be both?
is it possible to be both?
You could possibly be both. But see, listen, he's pretentious. Maybe it's just all those high levels of testosterone coursing through his system that he's having trouble controlling.
No, he makes, this is what I've said, he makes all the rash decisions that someone who's in the middle of roid rage would make, but without the muscles to back it up. And he has none of the testosterone.
Maybe he's maybe he's using drugs and he's going
He's like high school girl petty though.
well, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, I saw some comments that were saying, I'm not going to watch Avatar 2 simply because of what he said about testosterone being a toxin that needs to be removed from the body.
Yeah.
That was a pretty ridiculous comment he made, and we did clown on him for it, but we still watched the movie, and I don't think that some one-off comment that an annoying, pretentious director makes should dictate whether you watch what they put out or not.
You could miss out on something.
Yeah, I think you could accidentally miss out on a good movie.
And I'd like to think
by listening to their stupid interview sound bites.
So it's got a 94% still an audience score. That's very, very high. I remember when we covered it on the Thursday night previews, we talked about how it had a 94% audience score. So that makes sense. It's Thursday night. Anybody who's going to see it is either us or a diehard Avatar fan. We are not, but the average person who's going to see it for Thursday nights would be a diehard Avatar fan. But it's sitting at 78% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. The audience likes it better than the critics do. So it needs the legs that come with a movie with high audience score.
Scores mean nothing to me after Black Adam got 90 something. Like they literally.
Yeah,
nothing.
the difference between the audience and critic score for Black Adam didn't signify that Black Adam was good for me because
it should never.
I think that just shows how low the
not.
Standards for audience
Yeah.
has gotten. Our standards are that low that something like Black Adam would get in the 90s. That's crazy to me. It wasn't good.
Let me muscle up and defend this movie again.
Go ahead.
Why though? What is there to defend?
I mean,
The Rock's ego.
Because it's got Sarah Shahi in it, and
It
that
can be
automatically makes it a 94.
Again, it can be good, but is it exceptional? Is it
Is it a
a
90
film for the
something?
ages?
It's not a 90 something. It's not even an 80 something. Actually, I'm surprised by the critics score for Avatar 2 because I saw only positive things from critics when we were looking at early preview releases.
So what are they saying? They're saying it's got strong environmental message, but not strong enough. It needs to talk more about climate change
And the whales.
and the poor whales, that speak like professors rather than.
I cannot get the scene out of my mind where they zoomed in on the whale's eye staring at Loak and it goes, it's too painful. I couldn't take that scene seriously. It's a talking whale. It's a
You're whalist. That's what you are. You're anti-whale.
It's a psychic whale.
What they should have done is they should have gotten Brendan Fraser to play the whale, and then they could have cross-promoted with his movie coming out called The Whale.
Amazing.
And then he could, where he's he plays a fat guy in a movie, and then he also plays a whale. That'd be perfect. I'd
Avatar 2 Whale Tail.
That would. Let's go. So, what do you think, James Cameron? So, if he's got to make, if he's already got his 9-hour cut of Avatar 3 that he's working on, and he apparently hates everyone because he's making them animate the entire movie.
A $600 million budget comes from choices like that.
Yes.
Making editors work on 9 hours of uncut footage until it's completely.
One day his house is going to get egged. He's going to be like, I have no idea why this is happening.
He just like screwed over generations under these CGI programmers.
All of this, and he could have been making Terminator 3 like without like Dark Fate. Like we clowned on him. I mean, I clowned on him making being part of a horrible movie like Dark Fate. But he could be making Terminator. He could be making a bunch of different stuff. It's just weird that Avatar is the hill you go on to die. And I like the movie. I just don't know if that's the. It just seems like in a world where so much CGI is in every movie, it feels like he would have been better. Like, I would like to see his type of storytelling done with live action stuff more than photorealistic CGI.
You know, I've never seen Terminator.
Really?
We're going to fix that for you when you get back from out of town. We'll watch Terminator.
A lot of people said, like, where's the James Cameron that did Alien?
Well,
or that pitched the sequel by writing Alien on a chalkboard and then putting a $sign at the end.
Like, yeah, that's a story for
where
the
did that guy go?
Where he wrote it and that was like his pitch to the theater. He really does want this image. He really does want this image of being some type of like alpha male. I control the studio guy.
Yeah, he wants to be mythologized.
But he
that
looks
way.
like a high school English professor.
Yeah,
but
but he
an
looks
English
like
teacher?
a vegan.
Yeah. So it's like money. I remember that's funny. I didn't read whatever you were talking about, but I remember that story about him like, that's my pitch. And then
it's part of like pop culture mythology that he is like this ballsy director that has the big blockbuster films.
As you get older, he's older now. He's not who he was. Like nobody's who they were in the 80s. My money
I'm
gun
certainly not who I was in the 80s.
That is very true. You were but a gleam in the eye of two people in the 80s. Like, I mean, like people change. Like, I get it. You're it's kind of like people rag on Eminem because he made like his anti-Trump song.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny to me, by the way, that Eminem turned into like
a corporate show.
A neoliberal with the same politics as like Nancy Pelosi.
If you guys want to hear,
good job, dude.
Listen to the song "We as Americans" by Eminem. It's literally a constitutionalist manifesto.
Such a good song, by the way.
On American gun rights and your ability to defend yourself. how he went from that to a neoliberal who believes in gun control
to awfully hot coffee pot. How he went from "We as Americans" to awfully hot coffee pot. I will never understand, but please never let that happen to me.
You can't. Have you ever seen the guy on TikTok who does like the Eminem impression?
No.
It's like, oh my God. He's like, he looks kind of like him too, in that he's tall and he wears like black wind pants and a hoodie.
The Steven Crowder bit was pretty funny. Where he was like, it was an awfully hot coffee pot. And then he just goes to like the manager's like, hey,
should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not.
It's not working. No one's saying anything.
I will never forget that. That was like a moment in culture time. like
forever
enshrined as that in my mind. You ruined everything that was Eminem.
You can't rhyme with orange, but you can rhyme with orange. Like, yeah, Eminem is kind of and it's funny too because he's one of those people. Like, we're getting off subject here, but I was thinking about the other day how many good albums he actually had. Like, he was not a one-hit wonder.
No.
Like, his first 4 albums were all really, really good.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, but it's like you eventually will become your dad. And you just happen to do it as you just happen. Well, because if you don't, then you become cringe for trying to be young. So it's very hard to evolve and become cool and older while not being when you were. I mean,
maybe just don't be Trump deranged. That would be enough for me.
If you establish,
you don't have to be cool. You just have to not be like actively lame.
It would be very hard if you're somebody like an Eminem or a very successful James Cameron, where when you're younger, you're cool for specific reasons, to then reinvent yourself and be cool for other reasons as you get older. That is a very, very hard thing for somebody to do. But
someone said M was always a plant. Eminem, the classic sellout.
But I don't blame somebody for making their money. If we're talking sellout, meaning that he made a lot of money, like that doesn't bother me.
Shout outs to Contrarian Dasovic making a guest appearance.
I'm always the.
Well, he made his
I'm
money.
not even a contrarian, dude. I'm not even.
The thing he did is he made his money and his name off of being this controversial controversial provocateur artist and then used it to get clout with the
Colin
suits.
Kaepernick.
With Colin Kaepernick, with like all of the establishment blue checks, basically.
But he was always kind of like, think about the song "White America."
That
Like,
was such a good song, by the way.
It's so like you weren't even alive. You couldn't even understand the cultural relevance
No,
of
I
that
don't.
song because you were not alive at the time where everybody wore really long white tees and dyed their hair blonde. And
Wasn't that song about like Columbine or something?
I mean, he had a lot of music that spoke to like "Drug Ballad" is one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's an objectively it's a horrible message to send to people. All of the songs from the Marshall Mathers LP and the Slim Shady LP are not guidelines.
well, that's
for how to live
before
your life.
people were judged on the message and they were judged on the art.
Yep. Well, James Cameron, like he's like, I'd like to think that James Cameron is being judged on the art right now, not his dorky comments about testosterone. Let's face it, guys. If you're watching this show, you're more in tune to what's going on with pop culture behind the scenes, or at least if you're watching us, you're listening to us be more like have to read this stuff and then not die of cringe after we read these things from James Cameron. The average moviegoer just goes, "Ooh, look, blue people."
Yeah,
Very
they've never
good-looking-
heard of James Cameron possibly.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I do recommend, I will say again, guys, if you haven't gone to seen it, and if the comments about testosterone being bad don't hurt you with enough cringe to knock you over, I do think you would enjoy going to see the movie. I had a good time with it. So, just me.
Let's go to Super Chats. BMF Nate Dogg said, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
Exactly. Oh, also, there's a fantastic meme that says, "I'd just like to remind everyone that Kevin was a conservative." And it's the scene from Home Alone where he's got the pellet gun. He goes, "It's my house, and I have to defend it."
Private property hero.
Well, also, they asked, like, what did Kevin McAllister's dad do for a living that he could take 9 people to France, like, and live in that house? Which I've driven by that
point.
house before.
Oh, really?
It was a different time.
Like, yeah, like there was just disposable income.
Yeah, cheeseburgers cost like $2.
It was,
We used to be a country,
We used
a
to be a
proper
country.
country.
I mean that movie had John Candy in it. We were definitely a country. We were connected by certain loves back then.
Potatoes for Seamus said, "I want Mary with red hair and Brett with green, and Dane, just stay the way you are. You are perfect just the way you are."
Okay.
Well, that hurt my feelings.
I don't think I want red hair though.
Why not?
Brett can go green though.
No.
I'll stay perfect.
It took a lot of hard work to get this blonde.
To look the way it does. How much time does it take to? How often do you have to get it touched up?
Like every month
Oh,
for a few hours.
So much work.
The longest I've spent in a hair salon, I'm not even sure, but over 8 hours.
What?
Definitely. Yeah.
That is like that. Actually, that
you
actually
could call
might
that
be,
a crisis situation.
That might actually be something that I would have nightmares about. Like I could wake up in a cold sweat at the idea of like having to sit somewhere like a salon for 9
With
hours.
bleach on your head. Yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah. Trauma. Are we trauma dumping now?
A bit.
Blue Heart said Avatar 2 was a solid movie. It was definitely a movie. Like it was a movie.
There was one review that said Avatar 2 is definitely the most movie I've ever seen. Like
It's the most movie ever movied.
exactly.
Gamer2X said Feliz Navidad, PCC, Peeps, Brett, Mary, and Dane, make mine Marvel.
Caper 2X, I have to ask you, what are you looking forward to from Marvel lately? I am looking forward to the Secret Wars show, or is it Secret Invasion that they're doing with, I know they're going to do a Secret Wars movie, and I believe Secret Invasion starring Samuel L. Jackson. That one I actually am looking forward to because it's got Winter Soldier vibes. We will review that. I will begrudgingly hope
Okay.
that we can review that one.
You know what they're going to do eventually? Not soon, but eventually they'll just mash together Star Wars and Marvel and all of the Disney
Oh, God.
franchises
I mean-
together into one cinematic universe.
I think that's a bad idea, though. I mean,
Obviously,
they can't
but I
keep
know
the-
they're going to do it eventually.
They can't
We
keep
know.
they can't keep the content separate when they're separate, let alone when they're together.
I mean, if you can't justify keeping certain superhero franchises separate, how can you justify keeping Star Wars and Marvel separate?
Well, just imagine like people are like, when are they going to do DC and Marvel together? I'm like, can you imagine the egos in that room trying to like decide who wins? Because you never get a winner in those situations. It always comes out to like a weird type of draw because you can't have Batman and Iron Man facing off each other and have one win because that says something about the other property, and neither would commit to that. So you can't really do that. It's just don't do it.
Obviously, Batman would have been. He's a ninja. He's everything Iron Man is, but more.
Love Batman.
And not
Caper
an
2X is
alcoholic.
very angry right now because we are telling him that Batman, especially Ben Affleck, Batman.
Oh, you don't even believe that.
BMF Nate Dogg said, the organization Women Who Code necessitates the need for men who peer code review. Hashtag misogyny. So true.
Love that.
I love our chat.
Caper2X said, with that mouth, Mary must be a sailor. Go Army.
Are you a sailor?
I don't really understand what he means.
Curse like a sailor.
Did I curse?
Did
though?
you curse? You must have cursed.
I don't think I've cursed
I don't think you
during
have.
this episode, at
Yeah, yeah.
least.
I'm always everyone asks like what would like you guys should do like paywall content, like uncensored content. I'm like, Mary's would make sense. Mary would have a lot of stuff to say.
Oh,
that she
you
would never say.
bet.
I would just be me with more F words and B words.
Clint said, howdy people, just sharing some love and weather from Houston. I have nothing of value to add to the conversation, but love learning about what's going on from you.
Well, thank you.
Thank
And-
you.
And I wish we had your weather right now. Like I don't hate it too much because Minnesota is very cold compared to where we are. Like, it's really not that bad
This
here.
next one I love. Russell Tander said, call me a human supremacist, but I really wanted the humans to blow the fuck out of those Navis.
Well,
I'm so with you on that.
we all. Oh, I mean, look, you were
Look, why would they call them the Navis? Kind of sounds like the Nazis.
that is pretty close.
And I'm not pro-Nazi.
Did you
She's
guys?
not.
See
I'm
the,
anti-Nazi.
Did you guys see the New York Times crossword
No,
for
what?
Hanukkah? Holy!
Oh, that looks like- yeah,
it
it
looks
looked
like
like
a
a
swastika. who's in charge of these
Who
places?
approves
I thought that
this
was
shit?
fake.
It's like, oh, is it fake? Okay,
I thought it
was.
That's why I didn't post about it. Like, I try to make sure that I don't post things that end up being like. Somebody got me once. Like, everyone's got that one topic that gets them, where it's like it triggers you, so you react too quickly.
I had one recently.
Brett actively avoids posting fake news on his social medias. I go after it intentionally and spread it as much as possible because
dude,
it's fun.
Do you know who got me? Ligma.
Okay. Damn. Out
Johnson.
of all of them. See, the one that got me was when somebody wrote it was like a fake article about the benefits of heroin from Hunter Biden.
I wouldn't put it past some Democrats in San Francisco to make an article like that.
I definitely was like, I read that. I'm like, they would be okay with Hunter Biden talking about heroin. And I'm like, as soon as I read a little bit further, I'm like, oh, they got me. Like that stuff gets me. Cause I you're a little bit too close for comfort with the topic like that for me. Like it got me. So.
They did an April Fool's article in a Puerto Rican newspaper that Trump was selling Puerto Rico to someone.
That's amazing.
And it got a bunch of people.
Very mad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's hold off on the rest, and we will come back after the next topic. All right, guys, we're moving on. So, did you know that Henry Cavill isn't just out as Superman? He's not just out as Geralt. He's also out and in the open as a toxic man baby gamer who's basically QAnon now.
Welcome to
okay,
the
I made
club.
up a little bit of that last part, but that is what he's being labeled at by these people from this podcast.
It's like they want our jobs to be easier for us, so they just curate the news exactly to what we cover.
See, I think it's like they
like
literally
let's just create more stupidity for Brett and Mary to talk about on purpose.
They've got like the whiteboards, right? And they throw plungers at it, and they're like, "What are we going to talk about today?" Henry Cavill.
Just
What about
close
today?
their eyes,
QAnon.
throw it, and they hit the target.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that skit but with Vice?
Yes. Yeah. The one about trans. What is it? Trans something. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. But
Wait,
it's
what?
but they don't throw plungers. They throw dildos at
gosh.
whiteboards. It lands on. You'd have to see it.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Is
Okay.
this Stone Toss or?
I don't
I think
know.
it's
It
like
was
a
pretty
Stone
funny.
Toss comic.
It was like
Anyway.
it was like Ukrainian trans something or other. Yeah. All right. So Henry Cavill has gotten in trouble. I'll tell you the other thing that he's in trouble for, and this is why you can't win in society anymore, because they're mad at him because he didn't want to take his shirt off more and he didn't want to do sex scenes.
Yeah.
What is it? Do you get mad because they do too many sex scenes and it's sexist and misogynist, or do you get mad because you don't want to do enough sex scenes, or just admit that you as women have double standards? Not you, Mary, but you as women in the majority have double standards and admit that you don't get to. We get called the male gaze and everything you like is bad, but then they get to make Jason Momoa thirst trap articles. And
Well,
Henry
Brett,
Cavill's
listen.
bad.
Brett, you are spinning a misogynist misogynist
Yes, I am.
narrative, and I will not stand for it.
Well, there's nobody more misogynist
Here's
in
the
this world
truth,
than me.
straight from, I think it's called Duke's Moi. I don't really know how to say it, but it's this podcast and this gossip site where they take anonymous tips, which are super reliable, of course. And they released on this podcast inside information about the way Henry Cavill behaved on the set of The Witcher.
Here's those damn inside sources again. People should be forced to walk around with just plain black shirts with white text that says inside source.
Here's what the inside source said. In season 2 and 3, something shifted and he became really impossible for women to work with, which is always a big problem, even though Henry Cavill has been called extremely collaborative and kind by other professionals.
By not listening to what they say and doing exactly what they order you to do, you're being difficult.
So they said this is even worse because the showrunner is a woman. He would try to overrule her and get changes made last minute across the board without her knowledge.
No more mixed sex work environments.
They said female writers and directors were being completely ignored on set, unable to do their jobs. Every department head was complaining. He started making comments. It wasn't a sexual thing. He wasn't grabbing anyone or being lewd, but it was disrespectful and toxic all the same.
It's the gaming. It's the gaming.
So they blame this on Henry Cavill being a radicalized gamer, a toxic male Gamergate defender.
Okay, I got a question.
Gamergate defender? What does that mean? What side is that?
If Henry Cavill had a 4chan account, what would it be called? What would Henry Cavill's 4chan handle be?
Sarkeesian
They continued.
gets owned 42069.
He's deeply addicted to video games to the point where it's like working with any other addict. He was distracted, late, obsessive. A lot of people would think that the misogyny came from the gamer world.
No, only weirdos like you would think that, lady.
Video
no
game
normal person
bro
thinks
language is not how you talk to coworkers, and he wouldn't stop. Someone on the show compared it to watching someone get brainwashed by QAnon. Like his whole personality shifted. Eventually, his disrespect escalated. So they said that he allied with some writer who was also on his side and then got fired for HR violations.
They think that that's the DeMaio who's working on X-Men 97.
Bo DeMaio or whatever.
Who was talking about how like they clearly had a strong distaste for the source material and they made fun of it.
So he had an alliance maybe with this writer because only the two of them alone on set wanted to stay true to the source material of The Witcher.
How dare he?
And it's known that he might have been pushing back on aspects of the show coming directly from the writers and the showrunner that were trying to deviate from it.
I also saw somebody who said they said that it was suspicious, like what his reaction, like how he wouldn't spend time outside of work with Millie Bobby Brown and how he wouldn't give her. They're like, that's pretty suspicious. I'm like, so what you're saying is there's no winning.
Even Millie Bobby Brown said that it was an honorable thing that he decided not to mix his personal life with work when he was working with her because she's only 18. But obviously, like, what is his age? Like he's 40.
He's 39.
Of course, he's not going to be like BFFs with a teenage girl on set.
That's how all of this stuff starts. That's how all of this stuff starts.
I mean, even if he were a creep,
if you're Drake, it starts even earlier.
Even if he were a creep, he at least like would know not to keep it in his professional life. Like obviously, so I'm guessing that this turned a critic named, I think the name is Kaludia Amenabar, called Kaludia Says on Twitter against Henry Cavill. But it turns out this girl, who is a critic and a podcaster, she used to be a big fan of Henry Cavill when it was socially acceptable to be a fan of Henry Cavill.
So she found out that he dated Gina Carano, I'm sure.
Anna, that Star Wars girl, found screenshots of her old tweets where she was simping for Henry Cavill.
And who wouldn't?
She said, my sexuality is scruffy Henry Cavill being gentle with his pet bat. She was like quote tweeting this picture of Henry Cavill petting a bat.
Why do people talk like that on Twitter?
Yeah.
No human being talks like that, you freaking weirdo.
So contrast that with her recent tweets. So Claudia said, Too long didn't read. Henry Cavill got gamer red-pilled and became impossible to work with. Female showrunner for The Witcher and many female employees were treated like garbage, and it made producing the show impossible. And she also said,
to work with like a picture of Anita Sarkeesian with a big X through it.
it's just like that on the nose. So she continued, when people are like, oh, he quit because the writers don't respect the lore, shut the F up. They love that series, and he was allegedly working against them.
No.
That's not what the facts say.
They're lying. You're just lying.
Considering he dates weirdly young women and had weird comments about Me Too, this does not come in as a shock. I just remembered that Henry Cavill dated Gina Carano at one point. This all tracks. Praying for any women who have to work with him on Warhammer. Now, funny enough, he's working with his own girlfriend on Warhammer.
Yep.
So, yeah, prayers up to her, I guess. Yep. And then when that Star Wars girl responded and showed these screenshots of her simping for Henry Cavill, she screenshotted her account, Claudia did, and said, your only brand is targeted harassment. She privated her account and then deleted all of her own tweets. Like, it's anything to just avoid accountability with these people, but this is such a secondhand embarrassment situation, obviously.
Also, like, what does any of that have to do with, like, journalist ethics in gaming?
Dude, this is a nothing burger. I mean, full combo meal.
It's the definition of a substanceless smear campaign.
And it's also funny because they won't let it die.
It's like he's perfectly pleasant.
2014... Like,
I think all of these people just like got the update from their NPC programmers that it's not socially acceptable to be a fan of Henry Cavill anymore. So she had to like update her opinion, her software on Henry Cavill.
But is this also like just like they need the boogeyman? Like nobody cares about Gamer. Like we weren't even around like when Gamergate was going on. Plenty of people that are talking about this. Like, well, it's like it wasn't relevant to me at the time. It wasn't relevant to me at the time.
I think it's gonna remain relevant for a very long time
only because
they're
forcing
the culture war.
They're forcing it to be relevant still. There have been 90,000. No, but I'm saying like learning about it since then in like 2016, 2017 because it became relevant around election time again. I mean, because all of this stuff came into meme culture.
The consequences are still rippling out from Gamergate to this day, which we're gonna get into later.
Yeah.
Like, it did kick off a huge part of the culture war, which is why people still talk about it. But I feel like these people are just, like, pathologically obsessed with that narrative that, you know, gamers are misogynist pigs and they're basically the same as meathead jocks, but without the muscles.
It's the same. It's the same moral. It's the same type of weird moral panic as video games causing violence, right? It's all in the same realm. It's still a moral panic.
Are gamers the misogynist frat guys that they frame them to be, or are they basement dwelling incels? I ask
it's also
over and over. I don't think they have an answer.
It's also stupid because gaming is about as mainstream as anything in the world right now.
Yeah,
there are very few things more mainstream than gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I think that some of the biggest video games outgross the biggest films at this point.
No,
because
they do. The video game industry is enormous.
Right, but it's still like talked about as if it's this underground thing, like delusional. Someone responded to this and said, am I crazy for thinking this wouldn't be a big deal even if it was true? He tried to make the show more like the books it's based on and expressed discomfort over being objectified is not misogyny.
Notice how it's a problem when a guy wants to not be objectified. Poor Chris Hemsworth just has to take it when they tell him to get naked and be humiliated for Thor. But when a girl, but it's like also like that. Maybe that's my biggest problem is that they still the Mary Sue and all these websites blatantly and boldly write articles that are clearly thirst traps for hot male celebrities. But the second you even think of doing that with a female celebrity, it's not allowed.
That's why it was so annoying about Frost because every time there was a hot chick, she was the first to be like salivating at the mouth and be like, oh my God, what I do to her.
There's nothing that leftist women hate more, like, I mean, especially in like the gaming and streaming space, than right-wing men not being attracted to them. Like, they hate that. It makes them so angry and they'll never admit it to themselves.
There's a lot to unpack.
And for most of that,
right.
like, it's, to them, in these cases, what I would argue is that they don't have a problem with hot women. They have a problem with hot women that are either brought forward by men or created with men in mind or used with men in mind, right? Meaning like if it's a hot lesbian character that's in what was the name of the gay vampire show, like whatever that was, if it's that and they're hot in that, that's fine because it's not for you incel. Take that. It's for them. They only have a problem with it. The reason they don't like it in comic book characters is because they're written by men, they're drawn by men, therefore it's a creation by a man, which means the male gaze, which means more and more leftist psychobabble, blah 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 blah. They don't care about them being hot. They care about them being anything that men might like.
Any normal observer of this situation, I think, can tell that Henry Cavill is a very professional person. He's very easy to work with. Thank you guys.
It is the holiday season.
He's easy to work with. He loves the source material on the projects that he joins. If he's not a fan already, he at least goes to the effort and the work of looking into the source material and understanding it so that he can portray it properly.
I think if him and Tom Cruise did something together, I might just quit and
you might
see
spontaneously
if I can combust and go and try to get a job. Like, hey, Tom. Hey, Tom. Hey, Henry. Can I be in your movie? I mean, I guess they did do Mission Impossible together.
They could definitely start a cult, and I think that you would join Brett.
It's very possible.
All of the evidence points to Henry Cavill being a very professional and collaborative person. I saw this quote from the cinematographer of The Witcher, not Beau DeMaio, a different person, who said...
Beau DeMaio doesn't sound like a real
Henry
name.
is one of the people who knows the books the best, as well as all the scripts the best. It's amazing how much he knows. All the lines of all the characters. It's amazing. He is really collaborative. He would sometimes discuss an idea or suggest an idea, but would never push for it. If he came to talk about a shot and asked for a reason why the camera was in a particular place, it was really rare. It would always be for the purpose of the story. He was extremely generous and extremely professional. So I think that all of the evidence is pointing to exactly the opposite of what this anonymous inside source is saying. And I would love to know where on set they were. If they were just a production assistant who was like, I don't know, doing COVID tests on everyone.
This is what annoys me. I'm just putting myself in this position, right? So I'm leading a project and I have my star employee, and my star employee is telling me like, boss, I just want to work even better, and I'm upset with that. Like, that's these people.
How dare you?
They just have to
Henry
listen
Cavill
to themselves
because he reminds them of the fan base that they are using to get exposure on their project.
Also, I just want to point out that according to women, being toxic towards other women just means not taking your shirt off, not having sex with them, and asking questions and not doing everything they ask you to do. That sounds like toxic femininity to me.
Yeah.
Femininity to me.
So from what you watched of The Witcher, did you think that it was over-sexualizing him?
There's a lot in the first, but like, look,
he probably was keeping it from going to the extreme end of that. Then,
it's like
if he was pushing back on it at all,
they probably wanted.
What would these women have said if any of the men in Game of Thrones had been like, I don't want to have sex in this show. You can't do that. It's in your contract. I get it, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad person or toxic because he doesn't want to do that.
That's why we keep saying, like, where are the male intimacy coordinators, though?
I
would love to know if you have a male intimacy coordinator,
Henry Cavill,
who coordinates intimacy for male actors.
Yeah,
where's that?
Maybe the guy doesn't want a female intimacy coordinator. Did you ever think of that? Like,
yeah.
What if you were, okay, how about this? If it's a scene between two gay men? Right. Would you want a female intimacy coordinator?
No,
you would not.
I mean, I don't like intimacy coordinators in general because I think that they're smarmy, weaselly HR
they're just
reps.
Human
but,
resource people. But
aside from that point, it's hypocritical, obviously. And I think this is another example, like Henry Cavill getting objectified or sexualized in The Witcher or any of the projects he's on. It's another example of women just like acting like dudes, and it's like
they're
pretending to be visually focused as men are, but they're not.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like another weird battle of the sexes thing, and it's like you're not winning.
That's what I
mean by
mean.
acting like an F-boy.
And that's what I mean when I say like that they don't have when they talk about like thirst traps with men, right? That's a thing. But the reason men draw women a certain way is because men are more inherently visual creatures.
Yeah, I mean, hate to bring it back to this while Dane is on the show, but like the TikTok thirst traps, right?
Yeah.
It's not just dudes being shirtless and just existing while shirtless. They have to like role play all these crazy scenarios, like getting arrested or like beating people up, because it's obviously like a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Where they have to like recreate these scenarios of like being in proximity to danger and being like protectors and stuff like that. Like it's not just Henry Cavill in a hot tub. Like that's not what appeals to women. That appeals to gay men.
And it's anti-reality. Like we're gonna talk about this more when we get into like Jennifer Lawrence later this week. But I'm saying like they want to pretend like they can somehow do these jobs better, but the structure of production is such that you cannot have a conflict-free work environment. It's not possible. Like you cannot do that. And it seems like what they want is not for it to be conflict-free. They want for him to bend the knee to them whenever they say otherwise.
Yeah.
And then let's face it, we as a society have given that a lot of capital now. The term misogynist goes a long way. So why wouldn't they, as cutthroat business women, use that to their advantage? Sure, it's sneaky, underhanded, and evil, but I get it. Like you're just a scumbag, but you're a scumbag in a business, but you're doing it by playing on the virtue and goodwill of other people, which is awful.
To the anonymous inside source that has just, allegedly exposed Henry Cavill for this misogyny or whatever you're accusing him of, I would like you to expose your identity and show the receipts for what you're saying instead of just throwing your bullshit out there without any facts. And secondly, to the blue check on Twitter who is now on private mode, unprivate your account, defend what you said, explain yourself, or stop acting like you're a public figure.
But they've walked back to every single claim already. So it's like it's literally.
But the point is they put it out.
I mean, I just like hope that this girl works out whatever her issues with Henry Cavill are, and Henry Cavill not wanting to date her.
Yeah.
I really hope that you find healing from that, sis.
And
because this is not a good look.
Also, I do want to push back a little bit on what you said about Henry Cavill, or was that off air when you were talking about like he's not married at 40, but like George Clooney's been married now for quite a few years, but he didn't.
George Clooney's wife is a huge red flag in my opinion, anyway.
But they didn't get married till they didn't get
the
married.
green line's questionable.
They didn't get married till he was in his 50s or getting close to 50. And it's one of those things like if I had Henry Cavill's money and you're working in an industry that seems to be becoming more and more anti-male as the world, as things go on, you become a bigger and bigger target.
And that's essentially what his comments that were so questionable about Me Too meant. He meant like, I'm in a very precarious situation as a man in Hollywood right now, because if I am behind closed doors with any opportunistic female,
why would you do that?
They would claim something happened that didn't, and my guilt would be assumed.
And then you get the articles written a year later. It says, why aren't men mentoring more women?
Like he doesn't want to be the next Aziz Ansari. He doesn't want that for his career, and good for him for looking out for himself, because obviously there are nefarious people out there looking to lie for attention.
What we need is a Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill buddy cop movie right now. Like right now.
I've said this ad nauseum, but every day the Mike Pence never be in a room alone.
Mike Pence was criticized to hell for that too.
I know, but every day
crazy.
That piece of advice rings more true.
Well, there's just too much. There's too much to be gained with too many ways to get away with it. To not expect that power to be abused. Mm-hmm. Like nothing happens if you get literally somebody proves you wrong. He wasn't there doing something to you. He was in a Walmart four cities over on a security camera at the time you said that happened. Nothing happens. They don't get in trouble.
Yeah. They can take swings. They can take all the swings they want.
And poor Henry Cavill has to face the consequences. And frankly, that's wrong. Let's go Super Chats.
Anyways,
Super Chat.
I don't want to repeat this username because it sounds like a slur. Sorry. They said, first time catching you guys live since I work overnights.
Awesome.
But been sick a couple days, so I've been binging your shows. Keep up the vibe, you two wonderful humans. I love the main guest host.
Thank you.
Aw, that's
well,
sweet.
we all love our main guest host here.
Johnny Derp
I'm never gonna live that down, guys.
Johnny Derp said, Cameron is correct to a small degree. Your perspective changes with time, and you see how much of your reasoning was influenced by brain chemistry. And even if that's what the point he was trying to make was, he said it in the worst possible way as a dig at men, you know?
Yeah, it will also, like, it's almost worse. Like, I almost think it's more just like, what can I say that's going to make a headline that will get me some press that will keep this in the news? It's even less based on sexual, on like the battle of the sexes, and more just like what's in right now, bashing on men. That'll get headlines. Maybe he's like, I'm already going to get the weirdo liberals who talk about Pandora withdrawal and like getting, missing Pandora. How can I get the other people on board? I know.
By the way,
bash men and it'll become part of the news cycle.
That's not even in anymore. Now that if you follow like the woke trends, like now they're completely like eating themselves alive. It's like you're not X enough.
Well, that's the purity spiral, right? You'll never be pure enough for any. I mean, I think both sides do it to an extent. Obviously, the other side does it less so, in my opinion.
You're not free market enough?
Yeah. You just like, regulation, huh? I see how it is.
Libertarians do that way too much.
That's me. I'm like, you think the government is the answer?
It's like that. I think there was like this video of some libertarian.
Everyone here hates me, guys, because I'm the libertarian. Not Big L libertarian.
There was some like libertarian meeting or convention or like some libertarian party event, and someone like publicly said like, we should be able to let children inject themselves with heroin, and then like no one clapped.
It's just
that's so cringy.
the only cool public facing libertarian is Dave Smith, and beyond him it's just like,
hey, what about
you just sell drugs to minors?
I'm not a Big L. I'm not a Big L libertarian.
Okay.
I'm small. I'm just like, leave people alone. Don't steal their stuff. And the government sucks. That's very
just
simple.
common sense.
But I believe that too, and I'm not a libertarian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So there you
like
go.
that's like libertarians don't get claim to that.
Anyway,
I never called myself that. You called me that.
Let's move
Call
on.
yourself that right now. What?
But I'm saying before.
Poe said not enough testosterone to keep the box office up.
Well, you know
you could
what?
say James Cameron, he just can't keep it up.
Can't keep it up. It's a rough. But you know what? He
doesn't usually happen.
He could take a pill. It's like look, this never like it'd be really funny if like week 2 he comes out and he goes, look, this never happens to me, I swear.
Yeah.
Like that would be incredible.
Caper2X said the English professor had been to the Titanic. Wait, what? I don't understand. St. Miles said, gifted my niece for her birthday at a paintball park. She said she had more fun than the movie Avatar 2. She's more based than me, LOL.
Excellent. Though anymore, and it would have sounded like one of those stories where it's like my 6-year-old walked in and asked, why is Avatar 2 such a rebuke of transhumanism?
Yeah, I don't mean to offend whoever said that. I don't believe anyone on the internet when they say this child said anything. Besides Google Gaga.
My 9-year-old just came up to me and said that
Donald
Henry
Trump
Cavill is innocent and Gamergate is based.
Yeah.
And
My 9-year-old said free market economics is really troublesome when you get down to it.
All St. Miles is saying that his niece said that she had more fun at paintball.
We're sorry, St. Miles. We believe you.
But we don't
Biddy
believe people who say that their kid came up to them and said Henry Cavill is an existential threat to women's rights.
Biddy Beasley said, in my experience, girls that dye their hair red are going through some ish.
Do you believe that?
Usually it's blue, though.
It's blue or purple.
Dana's going to write another dissertation about why is it a blue-haired liberal?
No, I don't.
The dialectics of blue hair.
I don't. That's not a dissertation.
We need to get James Lindsay on to talk about it.
I just randomly had a thought of like, what would I want to ask Jordan Peterson, and that would be it. Why do we say blue-haired feminist instead of annoying feminist, snarky feminist?
I need to know.
Trite.
Yeah. Who is Jordan Peterson's drip provider? Have you seen his outfit with the multicolored suit?
Yeah.
His drip provider instead of his personal stylist.
His drip
no, I like that.
Like he has a multicolored
his drip curator.
He has a multicolored suit that makes him look like a two-toned ice cream cone, and it's incredible.
Wow.
Like you don't put that. I was looking at it, and I'm like, how do you pick the shoes? It's like an auburn red. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It was like an auburn. Thank you. It was like an auburn red
Little
and blue suit, and I'm like, how did you pick the shoes for that? That's bold, man.
I'm glad that that's what astounds you. For me, it's like the multiple colors in a dress.
Well, it was the multiple colors, but I'm just like, I wouldn't.
The shoes.
How do you pick shoes with two colors that don't really just doesn't work? You had to go with brown shoes. It just didn't work for me.
Brett, if he ever interviewed Jordan Peterson,
That
how
was
do you
that-
pick the shoes?
Dude, well, I'd asked him who picked it.
Whoa.
Like, be honest, Jordan. you
God,
didn't pick
inflation's
those shoes,
crazy.
did you?
Yeah, inflation's out of control. Caper2X said everything with a lot less woke content.
That's what he's looking forward to from Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
It's a good thing you remember these things.
But yeah, I am, like I said, Secret Invasion and Secret Wars. I'm pretty looking forward to that.
Eric Otterly said, hello, did any of you see the video Paramount put out from a stunt from the next Mission
Yes.
Impossible movie?
We talked about it today.
Yes.
Tom
Go
Cruise
to the start
suicidal
of
again?
the stream.
Where we talk about how much Brett that's me, loves Tom Cruise, and then I get made fun of for it.
No one makes fun of you for that. For liking Tom Cruise.
Well, I get
Well,
called,
we make fun of you for being a Scientologist. That's different.
Yeah.
Flynn said, so obeying women is more important than staying true to the source material, and
Yes,
disagreeing
that's what
makes
they're
you
saying.
QAnon. Am I QAnon now? Apparently you are, yes. False God Dark Soul said, Gamergate taught me that misogyny is self-care.
Well, there we go.
Lovely.
But before we go, everyone's got. Here's the suit.
His.
Where did it go? Hold on.
You said it made him look like an ice cream cone,
Kind of.
like a Neapolitan type
It
deal.
looks like a cotton.
What's
It looks
going
like cotton
Or
on?
no,
candy.
he looks like Superman ice cream.
Look at that.
Okay,
is-
okay, Jordan Peterson with
that-
the drip.
That is bold.
It is bold.
That is bold, guys. That is
Dang.
bold. All right, one more.
Okay. Rhaegar Targaryen said, next month in Newsweek, we are all QAnon now.
We are. We basically are.
I love this new future.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Also, what?
The suit.
I'm really glad you showed us.
Also, I forgot to mention there was another article from that I wanted to talk about Neil McDonough, who got flack for not doing kissing scenes in movies and television because he's been married for 20 years and he's a Christian. He's like,
But men
I don't
have
wanna-
boundaries is not
Bad.
allowed,
Yep.
so.
He also won't take the Lord's name in vain in scenes. He also
Okay,
goes.
respect.
He also goes like, look, I'm in my 50s. Does anybody want to see me naked? He basically said that. He's like, do
Good
they?
point.
Fair point.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, we're moving on, guys. So
Again, like
yes.
Brett asked, where's the modesty?
We
these
need a little
days?
modesty in the world these days, guys. So, Girls Who Code launches site to develop more diverse game characters.
Guys, this website forces you to generate female game characters with diverse and inclusive attributes. You have to first you start with a default character that is overweight and a black woman with they them pronouns.
Of course.
And you have to go from there, that template, to make your character. So they launched this to combat the sexist rules that are placed on female characters in the gaming world.
Well, that's like I'm saying, I'm picturing Henry Cavill bearing down on these people and forcing them to choose very, very binary characters. He's like, you cannot do this. I am pro QAnon. I am pro Gamergate.
By the way, small segue. I was listening to Destiny, like a left-wing streamer, and he gave ironically enough, like the most compelling case for not using those types of pronouns, because essentially a pronoun is a word the viewer uses to describe something he's viewing.
When they're not there.
Right. So essentially, like someone providing their pronouns is completely like it makes no sense because it's ultimately what the viewer
something
is
happening
trying
when they're
to
not in the room.
yeah.
It's designed to control your language when they're not there.
Precisely.
Like when we first started covering Ezra Miller, I would trip over my words constantly trying to be. It wasn't until he started showing up in front of children's houses in cowboy outfits that I just gave up and I was like, "Look, this guy's a creep. I'm not gonna even do him the courtesy of respecting his pronouns because I don't think he's earned that or deserves that." But like they take advantage of the kindness of the average person who says, "Look, I have no problem with that. It's us libertarians over here, like live and let live, right?" But like they take advantage of your goodwill to use it as a cultural bludgeon against your ability to. First of all, it stops dissent. Like we had topics where we had to stop. Like I just gave up because I couldn't get it properly, so I just stopped talking about it. That's a form of censorship.
I mean, I always misgendered Ezra Miller. I'll go on record saying that. On the pronouns thing too, on this website, it's called Girls Who Code Girls. So they want girls to program female game characters. On the pronouns section, they didn't have alternative pronouns like Zer. Very offended. I'm personally offended by this. So here's a tweet from Girls Who Code. They said, "We're ready to code the future of female video game characters together. Introducing Girls Who Code Girls, a gaming experience that empowers you to code characters that are true to your experience."
See,
let's watch the video.
All of these people would have benefited from having MySpace back in the day. Then they could have learned HTML.
MySpace ruled.
Yeah. So here's here we go.
No comment.
77% of video game developers are men. No wonder why they have the female characters running around scantily clad.
Yes, why would they do that?
We have the power to decide what we look like.
God, this music choice.
It feels like I'm about to watch Blade.
7% of video game developers are men.
Okay.
And they said 20% of game characters are women, so they want to create more of them. And let's just look at this website and its introduction to this process.
Let's do this.
By the way, I mean,
77% of video game developers are men, meaning the majority of female and non-binary characters are designed by men. No wonder we're misrepresented. By participating in this experience, you can influence the future of women in gaming.
How intriguing.
Cool. So there's a reason why typically females and males in these games have these bodies. It's because typically they're doing feats of athleticism.
So Brett,
that if you do
the experience part, it lets you begin coding a character.
Cool. Can we make one now?
Yeah, we can.
Cool.
Why
Let's
not?
do that. What do we make?
So this is what it starts you with. And by the way, they don't give you any option to give a female character a sexy outfit. It's all just this one shape that completely neuters the female body.
Awesome.
So we love that.
Turning the sound off because I don't know if it's copyrighted.
It's obnoxious.
Listen,
well.
that's stock free if I've ever heard.
So you see the 3 tabs at the top. It lets you change their. It has identity at the end.
Oh, let's go straight to identity.
Yeah.
Straight.
So it also starts her off bald. Great
Well,
stuff.
of course, and the fade too.
With a fade.
I mean, at least it's not the mental illness haircut.
I like you cut, G.
Right off the top. So, combat, creative, cyber, edgy, fearless. What is fearless?
I don't even know. I don't know what any of this
Noun
stuff
is her
means.
noun queen.
Can you get edgy? Oh, there's queen now?
It starts off.
Where's the gender neutral version of that?
Brett, edgy queen, please.
Agent,
queen.
alien, angel, artist, boss, or captain.
Edgy queen.
This is making me cringe.
There's queen. So no, we're fearless queen.
And now we have to choose the pronouns.
Dane, what pronouns should we have?
That's a great question. Chat, can you please tell us what pronouns we should pick?
I mean, they're all. It's
It'll
he,
take a
him,
while.
he, they, she, he, they.
Excuse
she,
me, where
her.
are the Zay Zems?
There's no.
Where's the representation for my Zers out there?
I
Remember
pick,
when Attack Helicopter was the big conservative dunk? That
They have
everyone-
72 genders.
I pick he, they.
See, conservatives are just as dorky. Don't worry.
We're being dorks
we're
right
making
now.
we're
It's
making
fine.
fun of yes.
Yeah.
He, him.
Yes.
Excuse me, he, they.
They.
Dane, what's your astrological sign?
I'm Sagittarius.
Okay.
Iconic.
I'm in my Sagittarius era.
Constantly.
And then it'll create this character card for you
This is so.
if you
Oh,
finish.
cool.
Imagine taking the time to do this.
Can we randomize her
Like
list?
I hate myself. Just doing
I'm
this.
just
I guess I'm not a girl who codes, so what do I know?
the marketing director for Girls Who Code, by the way, tweeted, we answered by creating a website where you create a character using your pronouns and rocking your style.
Cool.
I'm sorry, this is somebody who is actually paid to make a website like this. Imagine how insufferable you have to be to land the job as the marketing and communications director for Girls Who Code.
But-
what type of person do you need to be? And there she is. There's our creation.
Chat suggests dad gone.
That is, I mean, that looks basically just like me. So
Amazing.
like,
Representation matters.
Love her. What? Love they? What?
And it's like, I hate that this framing has turned into any representation of sexy women is sexist.
Fearless.
Like,
well,
when did that happen?
It's not allowed because men like sexy women.
Look, wait, look at her stats. Not very powerful, not very smart, not very creative.
I didn't touch the stats.
What did they call the ugly princess? Creative.
She just sucks.
She's just mediocre in every single way.
I mean, I've got more of a problem with her shoes, to be honest. Her shoes are rather uninspired to me.
Yeah, not a fan.
Like,
It's just like, who is this for? Who is using this? And where is all the money coming from?
yeah, I mean, that's a very good question.
Where's the money coming from?
NGOs, government,
Nonprofits, please. Like, these places need to get investigated.
And let's face it, like, they would never give you the sexy female option because they want to erase that from history.
Of course
They don't want
not.
that. They want it to be the exception and not the rule. But they're never going to understand that men are the majority of the people in these gaming spaces.
Yeah, and I really didn't see a lot of people pushing back on this. I saw a bunch of praise for it, likely from Twitter blue checks who don't play video games, are not part of gaming culture, don't know anything about it other than what journalists tell them, which is that, like we saw from the way that they profiled Henry Cavill, they think all gamers are basement-dwelling, misogynist incels that go on 4chan and spread QAnon conspiracy theories. Like, they don't know anything about this culture other than the horrible things that are said to malign it.
Oh God, that was fun. What is who's got better drip?
Maybe
her
this
or
was made
Jordan
for you.
Peterson?
I mean,
Dane.
like if
This is gonna be your new favorite
I want to
game.
make a character so bad.
if
You
I
send me
could-
the link.
I'll send it to you. If I could give her, I mean, that looks like.
I mean, they also
somebody
give
in
you the
chat-
ability to give them colored hair. They give you the ability to give them a hijab. To give
give her
them
a hijab.
vitiligo, which is like
That's not
that
good.
melanin disorder that like makes you have like blotches of different melanin levels. You can give them cornrows. You can give them monolids, like all of this different stuff. And it's just like, no, I don't have anything against people with vitiligo or people with monolids, but like, why?
Blue hair.
Like, the fact that you put them in a video game means that a boardroom of people who don't have vitiligo decided
right
that they
shade of-
should be there.
It is for me.
You
Is that the
know?
right shade of blue?
I think it needs to be darker.
Not her though.
No, it's not letting me.
This is the greatest episode we've had.
I love
Dude, the
it.
stats got
fade
me.
is so clean.
The stats is like, well, she just sucks.
It's only letting me do buzz cut. It's not letting me do another hairstyle, guys.
You can
Boo.
choose another hairstyle, though. Maybe you just need to scroll down.
Can we make Mary in there?
No.
I tried to make one that was like me, but it didn't work. It didn't look like me. I just wanted to make like the most offensive character possible, and they wouldn't let me choose a man character. I wanted to make it a straight white cis male, pronouns he him, with like highest stats for intelligence and power.
The Chad with the big chin.
Yeah, I wanted to make it
With the really
basically
defined
the Chad
jawline.
meme,
I
and they
love it.
wouldn't let me. So
Well, guys, that is Fearless Queen, and those are like.
she needs to
Yay.
get a hijab on to cover up that
Yeah,
horrible blue
hijab.
buzz cut.
Dude, but does Fearless Queen have drip?
She's so fierce.
Yeah, dripping.
She's serving.
Can we stop?
It's giving.
I'm getting uncomfortable.
It's giving SJW era. It's giving 2015 era.
That's the medium body. What?
I'm just kidding. Go to small everything.
That it's not. I mean, that's the bias part that they're saying that that's the medium body.
If we
It's-
get canceled
mean,
over
these
this, it'll be
days-
well worth
Okay,
it.
we're done. We're
Who's
done.
gonna
guys.
cancel us?
That is a good question.
You can't cancel people
We'll
who
just
don't
call
care.
Pierce Morgan and he'll.
Well, we are canceling ourselves so that we can be part of cancel culture.
You can't cancel people who don't care. Simple as.
So
But
it's-
I just think like none of the people making promotional videos about this or making articles preaching about this or quote tweeting about it, none of these people play games. None of them are into video games.
In
Dude,
the
the
chat,
best- wait,
In the
sorry.
chat, Uncomfortable Chair says, just joined. What the hell is going on?
I love that.
The
Just
best,
dropping in.
The best scene that Anita Sarkeesian made on one of her videos was like the ultimate, like, this chick has no idea.
Can we
Like,
make Frost?
Yes. No, Sir Ink Zero Production says she's giving me Rava vibes. That was exactly what it
giving
was.
Rava.
It exactly is. It is
Wait, can we
Rava.
make Frosker in?
Oh my god,
Let's
try it.
code Frosker.
I want to read a little bit more of this.
Wait,
So it says,
okay, give me a second. So it's Sarkeesian in one of her videos. She's like using the Xbox controller on a PlayStation.
Yep.
And I was like, well.
Love that.
So it says it started from the thought that everything is through the male gaze, games, music, videos, films, even how coding is portrayed. This is what I mean. They don't have a problem with beautiful women. They have a problem with beautiful women being viewed through the lens of misogynistic
We
men.
wanted to get girls into coding to make them realize that coding isn't just math and science. It can be fun and creative and rewarding. Look,
Isn't that
obviously
insulting?
you're trying to force women to like things that they don't like.
It's
Maybe
the
there is a
STEM.
gender gap in tech because women aren't as interested in tech as men are, and maybe they're not as naturally adept at it, which is fine. Differences between people, which you claim to champion, those are a good thing.
It's
that
also
we
really
celebrate,
funny.
and you hate differences.
Because they point out a lot of the time that they're like, look at how many more women are working in tech. And then somebody goes, what jobs are they doing in
Right.
tech? And they're like, HR.
Their marketing,
email
their
jobs.
HR, and like design teams. That's basically it. But look, it's fine that women are not as represented in certain industries where they don't enjoy those things. They don't enjoy doing those things. It's fine. Like, that's actual diversity. I'm sorry to tell you.
Well, it's like-
if you surrender to reality, which is that men are more likely to be highly skilled in these fields.
And that doesn't mean that there aren't women that aren't good at it. It's just saying that on average.
Yeah, and you don't
there's
need to
more
create
men
an
choosing to
artificial
do it.
pipeline to force women into the gaming world. Like, you don't need to do that. They don't want to be there. It's okay.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to encroach on traditionally male spaces. You can make your own.
Oh, no. They have to encroach on traditionally male spaces because that's bad. It's inherent to sexism.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't even think that male gamers have a problem with women gaming. They have a problem with women creating messaging about them and about gaming that maligns it.
Dude, no one cares.
Yep.
No one cares. So I've been on many gamer discords, and every female is treated pretty much like a goddess, which is annoying. I guess that's like, and I'm sure they find it annoying too.
But it's weird, right? Because like gaming is so mainstream now that you would think it would be mainly like balanced as far as the
women
gender.
women make up
share.
more of the mobile gaming, right?
Yeah.
As far as I
Probably.
understand. The majority of mobile
Sure.
games are played by women, which makes more sense.
I mean, no, I think most women play mobile games, but still probably more men.
Yeah. But it's weird because it's like bigger than the film industry, but we're acting like it's a battlefield for gender ideology. Like,
well, this is what the left gets that the right doesn't, is that this is actually where the culture is fought and won, right? Because whether you like it or not, you can't even escape it. You can't even go to play your games or do something you like because they're just here arguing about it.
and this is more that we see in our conversations about representation in film and TV. They say, to make sure we're representing as many girls as possible, starting with hair textures, body sizes, and even little things like freckles and acne that means so much to representing girls
And
authentically.
this is the narcissism of needing to
Why
see
do we
yourself
need
exactly.
to represent your freckles and your vitiligo and your monolids and your acne? Like every microscopic aspect
Of
of
who
how
you
you
are.
look.
Yeah.
Not who you are, but just what you are.
Yeah.
No one cares.
It's
like I don't care if you have vitiligo, and I don't care about you being in TV or films or video games at all. But I care when there is a message coming from a boardroom of people who don't have vitiligo, who decided that that an image of someone who does should be forced down everyone's throats.
Do you remember the game where like they got mad at the game for allowing white characters to have cornrows and or to have the Princess Leia hair?
Saints
and you
Row.
weren't
I'm
allowed
surprised that with
to-
Avatar 2, people didn't get mad about
Yeah.
Spider having dreadlocks.
Yeah, like oh no, that was like dude, there was a scene that was like the worst part of one of the episodes of Tulsa King where you got like the driver comes in and sees like a white Rastafarian dude smoking weed and he's got dreads. He's like, dude, not cool, cultural appropriation. And I almost threw something at my TV. Like I can't tell if they're
Once again, Tulsa King making
no,
me cringe
no, it is
out
good.
of my body.
The show is the show is good, but I'm just saying like those moments. It feels like every episode forces that driver to have one scene to make everybody hate him. Like they just hate that guy, and they're like, we need to give him one cringe line every episode. And he happened to make a line about how dreadlocks was cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go to Super Chats.
do it.
But this was fun. Johnny Derp said, been fun, guys. Seems I can't chat at all and can only Super Chat because that makes YouTube money.
Wait, why wasn't it? It's not letting you send chats like in
he-
the regular chat, Johnny.
Is he like banned from doing normal chats? That's really weird.
We don't have mods. How would that even happen? We need mods.
Yikes. I'm sorry about that. Looks like you need to like look into your standing on YouTube. I don't know. But I swear we didn't do that. Rhaegar Targaryen said, but seriously, I find it hilarious that I follow a ton of mainstream conservatives and I hear more about QAnon from the left than anyone else.
Well, yeah, it's a bludgeon. It's a weapon that they use to dismiss you. Kind of like the term conspiracy theorist. It can just mean whatever you want it to mean. Meaning like somebody's like, oh, Elon Musk is banning people off Twitter. What are you, a conspiracy? Like you can just say that and you automatically discredit anything another person says. Call them QAnon.
Just remember,
Like, we should
Frosk doesn't exist to be pleasing to the eye to you.
Who was the guy
Like,
that
we
was
knew
on
that.
IRL? The guy from J6 who had the hat on.
Oh, I don't remember.
Remember
his
that
name.
guy?
The podium
guy? We need to get Henry Cavill to take a picture at a podium with podium guy.
Dude, podium guy ruled.
What if like Henry Cavill was secretly at J6? That's my conspiracy theory. That Henry Cavill is just like an ultra MAGA.
He was a shaman?
He's actually dark MAGA. And he
Dark Maga.
Henry Cavill is actually like part of the Oath Keepers.
He bought like he's the one who bought all the Trump.
Henry
trading cards.
Cavill is cute.
Bro, Dark
He
Maga.
bought all of the Donald Trump trading cards when they came out, and that's why they sold out because Henry Cavill bought all of them.
They're a collector's item.
Cornell said, hoping you all have a Merry Christmas and fantastic New Year. Greetings, Dane, sup, Brett, and Hail Mary.
Hello.
Hail Mary. Oh, is that?
He mixed up the spelling of Mary and Mary
Ah.
for Merry Christmas.
And
Flynn-
Merry Christmas to you as well.
Flynn said, sounds like Mary is a libertarian in denial.
Mary is not a
No.
libertarian. Mary is far
Trust
too
me,
authoritarian.
If we had Pop Culture Crisis members only, you would know that I'm not a libertarian.
she is more authoritarian than anyone I know.
Yes. Okay, I still can't say your username. Said, by the way, my name is just the first 3 letters of my first and last name. Have a party on me and a Merry Christmas and New Year's, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I just don't want to say your name because it literally sounds like I'm saying a slur.
I wonder what the
Really?
first 3 letters are
I can
short
call you
for.
4.
What are the first 3 letters short for?
Sorry about that. Dash Fortune said, please define QAnon. Blue hair is usually a reference to little old ladies with blue hair. It fades less on white old hair.
What?
I don't understand.
How old is old in that context?
I don't think that's what blue-haired liberal means, though. It's about college students.
I always took it as college students
Yeah.
and like, or just like anyone who like they change their hair color because they feel like it signifies that they're somehow not part of like
The saddest
blonde
thing is
hair is
that-
patriarchy.
The
We're gonna
saddest
have
thing is
Jordan
that
Peterson on the show one day.
a lot of these
gonna have
girls
it.
who were like SJW college students in 2015 were actually pretty.
Oh,
but they just like decided to be visually offensive.
Have you ever seen those pictures of the before and afters of them?
Yeah.
And they're all like beautiful,
Yeah,
like
dude.
and then they just like they go to college and then they're just destroyed. Like it's horrible what it does to them.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Not Alan Rogers said, pertaining to the libertarian things, neo-Catholics, what does this mean, are politically motivated to reject libertarian ideals because Catholicism is government.
that
You
true,
sound
man?
like Ian. I'm sorry. This is
I
you're
wonder
getting
what-
way beyond
I wonder what
what I
Jordan
talk
Peterson thinks about the money guns.
What would Jordan Peterson's
Would
opinion?
he be scared?
I would love to
of
get
the money guns?
his opinion on money guns.
Like, well, actually, it's a testament to how currency is deflated. Like my daughter.
Bobcat said,
You leave Michaela out of
Bobcat
this.
is too important for your puny pronouns.
Bobcat.
Go off.
Okay.
BMF Nate Dogg said, Dane, feats of athleticism is why... I don't even know what the rest of this says.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
I can't see.
Rhaegar Targaryen said, just what we always wanted, women with dad bod.
Well, hey, man.
It's not even mom bods because none of these people have children.
Also, like, like, they never just show like a typical middle age. It's always like overtly over the top, like just oversized enough to look like you wear sweatpants every day.
Yeah,
like
it's just changing the baseline.
Well, yeah, and then you're looked down upon for wanting any type of standards for yourself or anyone else.
Dude, Fearless Queen is gonna be my gamer tag now.
Fearless Queen. Or Fierce Queen. I like Fierce Queen better.
I like Fearless Queen.
I like Fearless Queen. Yeah.
I like Fearless.
It's the meta.
Flynn said, if 70% of developers are men and only 20% of characters are women, doesn't that mean we need a 10% net positive of male developers to be equitable?
Look, equity is. I hate.
You're working off of their framework when in reality, like, it has no logical element at all, so you just need to reject it on the whole.
Okay, so Keenan Smith in the chat says blue-haired means old lady. Lots of first-wave feminists taught at Berkeley. The cancer spread quickly from there.
I don't remember that.
I mean,
the meaning of
it kind of makes sense, but because you do like, it feels like if I was to look at the hair
Old
color
lady.
of, if there was like a chart of like old women who do have their hair dyed a different color, I bet you blue would be the
Well,
high
no, they mean
percentage
like
of them.
sometimes gray hair appears blue but isn't.
Oh,
That's what it means.
Okay. I just see like it just shows you how confusing language and cultural cues really are. Like we've all understood the term like blue-haired this. We all say it to one another and we give each other that look of like, oh, I know what you're talking about, but do you really? Because you could be talking about something completely different.
Because everyone always says blue-haired feminists, and they could easily say like angry feminist, I don't like adjective feminist, but it's always blue hair.
I liked the phase where we came up with nicknames for them, like Trigglypuff.
That one was messed up.
That was a fun time, wasn't it?
That one was rough.
What else was there? Big Red.
Big Red.
Name the others in chat, guys. 1,000 Foot Deep End said there's a gender disparity amongst garbage collectors too, but we don't see a push for diversity or gender equality there, do we?
There's a lady on TikTok and on Instagram who's like, she's like a garbage or construction thought. I kid you not. Where like, it's a thing where like, it's like thirst traps, like with like reflective equipment on. I'm not even kind of like
this is like for all you micro stands out there.
There is someone for there is a weird kink for everyone.
She's got a dirty job.
She's got, and she's got her own like subculture of people that follow her that like, that is a target. Like there is a specific.
Why does there have to be a niche for every OnlyFans?
It's every single one of them.
Mimic said, notice how the people who scream about cultural appropriation never seem to give up eating tacos, pizza, Chinese food, or spaghetti.
You should never give any of those things
I
up
saw
either.
this tweet that said you should go back to like eating your ancestral diet.
Like the
if
Liver
you're
King?
primarily from not that ancestral diet, but like if you're Eastern European, then you should only eat like Eastern European foods. Or if I have like German ancestry, I should
I'm
only eat
a
schnitzel.
neo-food segregationist. Yeah, that's me.
But
I'm
what
part
about
German.
all like I have like probably 5 or so different ancestries from like Europe in me, so I can't really tell which one I should.
Like nobody gets more screwed in all of the racialized debate we have nowadays than the poor like people who are from mixed race families who don't want to be part of these kind of hyper politicized discussions of race and ethnicity when they shouldn't have to feel guilty on one way or the other based on either side that they come from. I feel bad for anyone with that background because it really does make them feel like they have to pick a side, and I hate that.
But as I've said 1,000 times, like woke stuff isn't landing anymore. No one cares.
I mean, I can't say one or the other. Like my opinion on that changes depending on the day.
Dane
of the
may
week.
be vindicated soon.
We will see.
-1-2 said Big Pharma is pushing acne, vitiligo, psoriasis, and eczema representation in games. Think about it. I don't think vitiligo is a skin condition.
I don't even know what vitiligo is. What the hell is it?
It's like when you have uneven distribution of melanin in your skin. Michael Jackson had it. It's like your skin appears like splotchy. With like different darker parts and lighter parts.
Am I going to start seeing movies with people with eczema? Like shows with people with eczema? Like where that's part of the story?
Do you need to have a video game character in like an action-oriented game that has eczema and is in a wheelchair?
Is eczema like when you get
Tell me how that's going to work.
Like itchy skin?
I guess, yeah. Porco Rosso forever said, my chat's getting shadowed too. Free the derp.
Dude, lately I
don't know.
I felt like I've been getting messages from people who are saying they're not getting any of the notifications. They don't see the video, like even in their subscription box, not seeing them till later. Like, I don't know why anyone would ban us. We're so polite and kind to everyone. We're so not rude. Or in any way, shape, or form controversial.
Especially on Mondays.
And I really don't think that we're controversial.
Sometimes we are. But like, even if we are, whether we are or not, like, we shouldn't be censored, and it feels like
we're adorable.
I don't know. There's some suppression going on in the chat. I'm sorry to hear it. Maybe make an alt account. Porco Rosso forever said, Girls Can Code website is down. Technical difficulties.
Have you ever
Still
seen
can't chat.
There's a really great, another great video on Instagram where it's like, what's better than one cover girl? Two cover, and it's like, but it says what's better than one female pilot, and it's a female pilot. It's just two female pilots, and then it cuts to a clip of a crashed plane.
Mike Garland said, Hollywood seems like Margaret Thatcher after hotel bomb IRA sent a message.
Okay.
You got lucky today.
Jeez.
You have to be lucky every day just to have to be once.
I have to be once.
I don't really understand.
Okay, that was a lot.
Also,
dude, I was watching an episode of the show Everwood, where a character's like they're talking about people they could write articles about for health or something class or science class, and somebody's like, "How about writing about Margaret Sanger?"
Oh my gosh.
I was like, "Well, that's evil."
Margaret Thatcher, not the same person as Margaret Sanger.
No, I know.
You know
this.
this.
But that's it came to me because I was thinking about that. Like, why would you like? They were having enough board because every show back then had to have like at least one PSA edutainment episode per year.
She's
Sometimes,
like playing poker with Ruth Bader Ginsburg in hell right now. The last of my kind said, old people use powder shampoo that turns their hair blue-purple in the sunlight. Happy early Christmas, y'all. Sick at home today. Movie recommendations.
What should I tell people to go? What did I watch over the weekend? Did I watch anything good?
How would I know?
I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud. What should Dane do you got a movie recommendation for him?
Not really.
Go watch Romeo.
I only watched the first season of Westworld, which I liked.
Go watch Romeo Must Die. If you can find, I don't know where the hell you're going to find Romeo Must Die. It was a movie from the year 2000 starring Jet Li and Aaliyah. And
my goodness.
It's basically Romeo and Juliet, only he's part of he's the brother of an Asian gangster, and she's the daughter of a Los Angeles gang family, and it's about buying up beachfront property so they can become landowners to become part owners of a football team or of like a basketball team. It's really, really good.
Have you seen John Tucker Must Die?
No.
I've been meaning to watch that now that you mentioned Must Die.
But you should look up Romeo Must Die. It is the proof that Aaliyah was like supremely talented and she is what Beyonce became. Like Beyonce doesn't exist unless we tragically lose Aaliyah. And that movie is, I don't know if you guys have seen Queen of the Damned as well. She was unbelievably talented. To lose her so young is a tragedy.
I will recommend Memento for the billionth time. The greatest movie ever made.
Okay.
Meh.
All right.
It's called Memento for a reason.
No.
Unknown
Memento.
said maybe it's time to dual stream on Rumble. To be determined, but unlikely still.
Never know.
Hope you guys figure out whatever is going on in the chat, though.
Yes.
Sorry to hear that.
Just stream on Quibi.
Quibi.
Remember that?
Oh, that'll be the day.
Do you remember when
Remember
that was a
Quibi?
vibe? Like that was like a vibe. Like
We were in our Quibi era.
okay, here's a funny story. So there was like one of the Kardashians had like, it was like dating, or was it a Kardashian that's dating somebody that rollerbladed, or the guy rollerbladed, and so every rollerblader thought they were going to save.
Who?
I'd have to look it up again. Like they knew someone that rollerbladed. There was rollerblading on the show.
You were just losing your mind.
And I was just like, and people were like, it's going to save the sport. And I'm like, that's not.
You're gonna get
happen.
so mad when Barbie comes out and there's so much misrepresentation of rollerblading.
I'm past. I don't get angry anymore. It doesn't bother me.
You just feel numbness.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, it is what it is. All right, guys, we're moving on. So the 1975, you've heard of the band. I don't listen to them.
I do.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Matty Healy. We've talked about him before because of his incident where he ate raw meat on stage and did push-ups in front of like Ben Shapiro videos.
Also, before we move on, Keenan Smith says Delano somebody. They're talking about the movie Romeo Must Die. He's talking about Delroy Lindo. Yes, he was the cop with Timothy Oliphant in Gone in 60 Seconds. Another movie you should go see. Go watch Gone in 60 Seconds. I also heard, guys, that they've removed the trademark on the 67 Shelby Mustang GT500, so you can now make, like, if you want to make your own replica version of that car, you can do that. So, okay. Back to what we were saying. I'm sorry. I had to
I'm sure a lot of people are really excited to do that.
I had to interject
now.
there.
Anyway, so when Matty Healy is not eating raw meat and doing push-ups in front of videos of Ben Shapiro on stage, he is going off stage to kiss his fans behind the barricade.
Well, of course. His age-appropriate fans.
In the past, he has gotten in trouble for kissing his fans on stage, like bringing them on stage and kissing them when he doesn't know whether or not they're legal age. And this time, he recently kissed a fan in Minneapolis who gave her ID, and he checked it before he kissed her. So she said that
I don't blame him.
She said that she wanted him to be her first kiss. We don't know if this was true or not, but I guess he was excited by the idea, and he looked at her ID, made sure that she was actually 22 years old. He said, "You better not be effing 16."
I love the idea that like there's girls going out and getting fake IDs not to buy alcohol, but just so they can try and kiss some dude from a mediocre band.
And then he said, "Are you ready? Are you ready for your first kiss?" And she said yes. And
this is so weird.
He planted one on her.
It's so weird.
This was on TikTok, and a lot of people were saying that this was weird for him to check the ID.
The whole thing is weird.
But obviously the whole thing is weird. And I think if you check the ID, you're kind of taking the magic out of the moment. Yeah. But at the same time, like, are rock stars able to be rock stars anymore?
What a time to be a therapist.
Society destroyed the magic, not him. Society destroyed the magic.
Like, I'm sure he himself is aware of that. Like, you can't just do things like that anymore when everyone is recording on their phone.
Did you guys see the thing about Aaron Carter or Nick Carter, like one of the Carter whoever the one from the Backstreet Boys was,
Nick Carter,
that they're like he like apparently like took advantage of a disabled fan.
Look, this is not verified in any way, shape, or form.
He said he supposedly gave her VIP juice. Which is such a creative name that it's either real or the person is like an amazing
actual
storyteller.
sociopath.
Oh my God.
So people were commenting, if you need ID to ID someone before kissing them, then don't kiss them. Another person said,
she better have wrinkles and cellulite. Otherwise, don't kiss them because it might be like
She better have cataracts. Yeah. How old are they? When I was younger, this was a dream for sure, and I'm happy for them. But at the point, the ethics of this situation scare me. Another person said, I've never been to a single concert where somebody in the band comes down and makes out with a random audience member.
Weird.
And I've been to over 100 different shows.
It's like literally playing Russian roulette with your career every single day. Maybe he's just an attention, like a thrill seeker.
Well, no, he definitely is. Like, he does a lot of crazy things on stage. Yeah. Like, I've seen... He like does sexual things on stage. He like comes close to flashing the audience, and he like is touching himself and like eating raw steaks. And
he thinks it's kind of like we were talking before. It's wannabe edgelords.
He's definitely trying, at least sometimes succeeding, sometimes failing, to push the boundaries of like what is acceptable for a performer.
Matt Damon in the chat says, "Sign this NDA." Yeah, like that's
Right.
basically. But it wouldn't matter because there's people filming it. So even
No,
if you
it's
sign,
totally public, and that's why rock stars can't do rock star shit anymore because people have iPhones. Like that's the simple fact of the situation.
like every day, like every band member from the every hair band lead singer wakes up and says,
Yeah.
"I'm so glad I was a lead singer."
Seriously.
And I remember this story made me remember that Halsey is another person who got in trouble for kissing fans who were underage. Like,
Well, he shouldn't be doing
I'm
it.
pretty sure it was like
anyways.
verifying that this person was not of legal age, and you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Yes, but like I don't
he's
know.
just-
Like in an age where everyone can record you doing this, you're just stupid.
If she's
and also
in-
she gets away with it because she's like this alternative looking,
Halsey,
non-binary,
yeah.
identifying, whatever. Like,
Isn't she married to
another person who identifies as they them? Yes.
another person? Isn't he like a rapper?
I don't know. I don't remember the name of the person, but she also has like a baby with them.
In the chat, so Radio Girl Scout says sexual assault isn't edgelord, it's criminal. But is somebody claiming that he did something illegal here? Like was this person underage?
This particular person
not.
that was in the TikTok, no.
No, but there was somebody in the past that he did.
There
it to
were
that was
other
underage.
people, like multiple people in the past where people questioned it but never found out
Yeah.
whether it
It's
was
just-
legal or
why
not.
would
And
you
also
do
in the
that?
UK,
Like-
the legal age of consent is 16. But again, you're taking far too many risks given that like the average age of your fan is like around 14, 15.
Yeah, the real test will
At
be
the
when will he
time-
do this when he's in his 50s and all of the women are much older. Then we'll know if he was a real creep because then he'll be like, I don't want
Yeah.
to do it anymore because they were all of age.
People have made a lot of jokes about how like Maddie Healy is going to end up being this like old, wrinkly, washed up rock star who just like rolls around, like writhes naked on stage and like has old women fawning over him.
Patrick Fuller says, wait, she was 18, right? Yes, the girl in
She was
this video
22.
is of age. She's 22. But,
But
why
she
would
had
you do
to
it with
prove it with an ID.
But why would you do it at all? That's like what?
Because
Why?
you took the spontaneity out of that moment, right? So what is the point?
And why? Yeah, like you're doing something that's clearly looked down upon and weird. Like, why would you do that?
I don't know.
Like,
That more than anything, that is just freaking weird.
I think it's definitely taking the parasocial relationship between fans and
Yeah.
their idols to another level when you like physically like touch them, and this is like what she claims to be her first kiss. I don't know, kind of worrying. And then the
remember-
Halsey thing is a verified situation that nobody talks about anymore because Halsey is like non-binary, androgynous presenting and says things that are in praise of Roe v. Wade. So don't address anything wrong that this person has done because they fit our narrative.
Dude, this is the era of the female psychopath. Like, go ahead,
Yeah.
queens. You know.
Exactly. So like one is permitted, one is not.
I just.
What do you think?
Why would you do any of it? Like, why would you risk it?
It's like Henry Cavill. Like, why would you risk being in a close professional friendship with an 18-year-old girl who could go around saying anything about you?
And
Who you know, by the way, Millie Bobby Brown, like, inadvertently let the world know that Drake was grooming her.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't know that it was wrong,
Yeah.
so she admitted that it was happening.
And he's like,
and then
"Huh,
everyone
huh,
just
huh."
acted like that shit didn't happen.
And if
It's-
you're
it's a real thing.
40, you don't care about an 18-year-old girl or whatever musing she has to say.
I mean,
At-
maybe
at-
if you're
at
a
all
Hollywood
likeliness.
weirdo, you would. But
Yeah, I mean, in that regard.
if you're a normal person,
That's what I'm saying. So, like, what would their friendship be based on?
Aren't there like musicians who have like gone to prom with fans because like a fan wrote them a letter? I feel like Jesse McCartney.
I feel like that has
Jesse
happened,
McCartney got
yeah.
asked to do that back in the day.
but it was back in the day. And Jesse McCartney fell off the face of the planet. So
But no, he was on a show called Army Wives.
didn't he like appear on CSI? Or making that up in my head.
Taylor Swift did. Taylor Swift appeared on the
Yeah.
original CSI. But I'm saying like this is definitely like the type of thing where it would have been normal for a rock star to do it back in the day. This girl.
It would have been
was-
normal for the rock star to do a lot of things that he shouldn't have done back in the day.
Yep. So it's just it's just weird. And
But there just wasn't documentation of it. Just like there wasn't documentation of Elvis's private relationship with his
Priscilla,
wife to
or with
be
yeah.
Priscilla Presley. Like they lived together for many years before getting married when she was as young as 14 years old. Like no one talked about that though because social media wasn't a thing.
Yep.
And now whether you want to call it cancel culture or accountability culture, it exists, and you should probably think about the future of your career before you do rash things like
He
this.
could find another way to do this that wouldn't involve actual like kissing, like dance with them or something. I don't freaking know. Like do something like any type of actual, I guess even that's physical contact. Like it feels like there's another way you could do this. But then we talk about, remember what's her name on The Voice, who just gave
Katy Perry
who
just like
gave the dude his first
walked up
kiss
to
without
this-
his permission.
Yeah, this contestant who did not ask or even suggest that he wanted to have his first kiss.
Yep.
She just walks up to him and does it.
Because it's
And
just assumed that
once
as a guy
again,
you would be okay with it.
everyone kind of memory hold that incident after it happened because she's a woman, likely, you know?
Yep.
So, I don't know. Celebrities are weird.
Yep.
Male and female and other, all across the board.
I don't know why he would do this. It's just weird. All right. Just me. All right.
Let's do meme review.
Yeah. Are you guys ready for meme review?
So ready. I've never been more ready.
All right. All right.
Wow.
We are Dane is extremely ready. All right, so we are going to get started with meme review, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Okay, so it says I did not vote for Krang in the midterms. That is not true. That is fake news. Well, it's the Inquirer. Of course it's fake news. Did you see that? Like, why would that happen? And then it says that Hannah Claire was caught watching non-Fast and the Furious movies.
How dare she?
That's about accurate because
Photo proves Ghost Girl actually returns carts. What
What
else
else
is
is-
she hiding?
that Photoshop is very good, by the way. That is very good Photoshop right there. Oh my God.
I look like a toddler.
You you looked very, very pouty. in
Another
that one.
question. Will Dane Font pursue professional wrestling career?
Dude, you should.
Tell us.
You would be a fantastic professional wrestler. No, Dane?
Oh, yes.
No? No?
Yes.
All right. Okay,
Me and
so
John Cena.
who
Da-na-na-na.
out of all of these on here, which one is the most fake news, do you think? I think Mary's is clearly fake news.
Definitely mine, yeah. Hannah Claire is also watching Hallmark movies, not artsy movies.
Are
So-
Hallmark movies not art?
I mean, they're art, but I wouldn't say they're artsy.
This one...
There's a fun family tradition of watching Hallmark movies with mute.
This one is
okay,
from
I
Long
mean-
Jumping Drawing 29. That's the name of
Wait,
that's who posted this one.
Okay.
So I just wanted to share that. So we're going to move on. So, all right. Run and consume. NPCs running and consuming Marvel. Well, I mean, and they would do it in the rain too, wouldn't they? They would absolutely do it in the rain because they're
They're the
new-
physical embodiment of trash cans.
new Marvel.
Wow.
Caper
movie.
2X is crying right now.
Yes, he's
Crying and coping.
All right, this is from Fearless Ad 4243. I'm gonna struggle.
He also
with some-
posted this one. It says, Hannah Claire Brimelow, I am once again asking for an end to all sequels.
Yeah, she doesn't know what's good for her.
But
Just like,
she will never get it.
just like Bernie doesn't know what's good for him.
Oh, he knows. It's houses. Several of them.
Okay, here's a fun story. Like,
Why are they oceanfront? The
One-
sea levels are rising, Bernie. Don't you know
I
this?
am like most Americans to have two houses and
one of the
beach
things,
property.
one of the things that actually got me to quit Facebook was like the day when somebody was like, it was two things in the same day. The first was somebody who openly said, like without a hint of sarcasm, that we would have been like, he's like, if we would have just done what China did and locked people in their homes, we would have been through this by now. This is like 2021, and I'm like, I'm about ready to
This
be
is what
done.
I'm saying. Most people are authoritarian. They just don't say it.
And then the next thing was the same day I see a guy where they're arguing about Bernie Sanders for president, and somebody's like, he's got 3 homes, and somebody's like, well, they're not even big homes.
Love
And
it.
I'm just like, I'm done Facebooking forever, and I never log back in.
I got 3 homes.
Yep.
Only one of them was bought by DNC.
All right, here we go.
Big.
2-person shows are a vibe.
You should
No
wear,
need to apologize. They're great.
you should
Aw.
wear the FBI hat more.
Yeah. Then
For-
I'll
for
show
the-
my true identity.
Further proof that you are in fact a Fed. You are
Let's
in fact
move
a Fed.
on.
All right.
Oh no. Average bad app super chat. I'm just like cowering in the corner.
I don't think Bad Apps sent anything today, so you haven't had to not read anything.
No, but as
Wow.
soon as you say his name, he says, I've been summoned.
Bad App, where are you? We are summoning you so that Mary can once again not have anything to say.
Yes.
Also, it would have been great. Something we could have done for the vlog is where like you can't remember what to say, so every time he sends a super chat, then you look at like a cue card that says, Bad App, I'm not reading that, so that you have to remember every time that you don't know what to say. All right. And that one was from Weenwood. I don't know if that's supposed to be like, am I supposed to laugh at like Is
don't
that supposed to
know.
make me sound bad or something? I have no idea.
Tee
The next one is from BMF Nate Dog. And it says, Brian Wen wins local Miss America pageant. Mary, I'm about to end this man's whole career.
That's one of the best memes too. That particular meme of that video.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Wait, who the hell's Brian Wynn?
Wasn't it the
lovely?
the
we
guy-
talked about it, but
The guy
maybe
who won
we
the-
shouldn't pull up the picture here.
Oh, the guy who won the. Okay.
Yeah.
With the red dress or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Everyone was very enthused in the thing.
All
The
right.
next
we're mo-
one's from Alkamar Goddess, and it's a cat that looks suspiciously like me.
Wait. So which one is more you? Is it you cowering under the table, or is it this one? Which one do you think is more representative of you?
Definitely identifying with the cat right now,
Of course.
because of the smudged eyeliner.
Oh, by the way, guys, I wanted to give an update. Bocus is hanging in there, doing okay.
Bocus update.
I've been taking care of Bocus.
We need daily Bocus updates.
I can give daily. I've been taking care of Bocus, so I can be giving some daily Bocus.
This guy is a
updates.
saint.
We love Bocus here. He comes he gets through the cat door to get upstairs to the office to like tell me to eat that it's time to eat.
Oh.
He never goes upstairs until it's time. Like I started leaving the cat door open because like I don't want him to have to do extra work to get up there anyways. Like if he was still healthy, that would be one thing.
Yeah.
But we've got his food at specific times and we're giving him his meds and he's
hanging in
He's
there.
somehow he's not more affectionate, which I kind of appreciate. Like I don't need him to be more affectionate. He just needs to be Bocus because we love him just the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Tim also said, here's a great, did I tell you this story earlier? So he, if you guys don't know, if you follow me on Instagram, every time I post a picture of Bocus, I post it with the hashtag Bocus is my co-pilot, or now Bocus is still my co-pilot. And Tim, when he left to go out of town, he goes, Bocus is your co-pilot too. He was very endeared. Tim loves Bocus.
That's sweet.
Z Fist. I'm not
But
saying
I'm
that.
sorry to change the subject, but like I got mad drums in the chat. It says Bad App with Brett Cooper now.
Oh shit.
Yikes!
Really? It's like that, huh?
Wow. Okay.
Also sending super chats that will never get read.
So he's cheating on us with Brett Cooper.
damn.
Imagine.
He must like him tall.
I'm tall.
Well, yeah, but you're the main guest host. You're not like Carter posted
This
a
is
picture.
a short people pod.
What is
I
Ian
think.
when he gets here?
People
Brett?
posted a picture. Say it again.
What's Ian? If I'm main guest host, what's Ian?
Other main guest host. Alternative, not main guest host. Because he's not weekly.
Interesting.
You and Hannah Claire are main guest hosts,
Oh, I see. Now I share.
but more you than her.
Okay.
I love
Would
that
you
this
tell her that?
accidentally became an official designation just because of Brett's accidental turn of phrase one time.
Brett, the Rhaegar, the Targaryen says Brett is tall, and yeah, Brett Cooper is. I think she's.
But
like
don't
5'9".
specify which Brett you're talking about.
Could be. It's like the meme. It says like I told her I'm built like Ronaldo. And then it shows a picture of Ronaldo, the soccer player, but then there's like another guy, Ronaldo,
the
who's
fat
like
one
fat.
from
And he goes,
Brazil.
I was like, I just didn't tell her which Ronaldo it was. It's like, I'm as tall as Brett. Just don't tell him which Brett. But there's a picture, Mary, from the Christmas party of me holding Bocus and you're petting Bocus.
Aw.
And I actually look tall for once, but just because you're
Just because
shorter than
I'm
me.
also a midget.
Yes. So it's like, yes, tall Brett for one photo. It can be true.
Amazing.
All right, we're moving on.
Next is from Tacti Platty.
Yeah.
Exposing Big Avocado and my complacency with Big Avocado.
Tacti also sent me another one the other day, and it says woke. It says like woke movies buzzwords, and it's the one from The Simpsons where the two strippers are grinding on Flanders. And it's me just because like my hatred of buzzwords. I think it said woke movies and buzzwords. I remember the buzzword
Love
part.
that.
Yep. Yeah, so it says the second greatest lie ever told. Well, Big Avocado will one day sponsor this podcast. I have no doubt. We will get an avocado sponsor that will probably pay us handsomely to push back on any
And to ignore all super chats about Big Avocado,
Well,
which we won't mention.
It would be very true that we would have to avoid that if we don't want to piss off our sponsors.
Yeah.
So
It's a
all right.
sensitive subject.
It is. That is
castle.
amazing. I would like to know, this was from
Lil
Darth Hart
Bocus.
72. Where did you get the photo of Bocus to make this? I would like to know.
It's perfect, isn't
It's from
it?
the website.
It's perfect. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, it is. Because he's technically talent here.
That is incredible.
What do you mean technically?
It's got to be painful to sit on that throne.
very
Too. The
talented
Iron
cat.
Throne has got to be very painful. All
It
right.
takes great responsibility.
All right.
I can't see.
It says
Brett Dasvik wins a Guinness World Record for 2022 for most times watching Coyote Ugly, specifically 1,091 times.
look, not even close. I would be more likely to be caught watching Covert Affairs starring Piper Perabo, who's in Coyote Ugly 1,091 times, than I would be watching actual Coyote Ugly. Coyote Ugly is a once a year type thing at most.
We're just gonna keep like putting forward the narrative that you're obsessed with Coyote Ugly because it's that stupid of a movie.
It is that. Well,
It's stupid but lovable.
It's like telling me I love Ben Affleck when I've never claimed to love Ben Affleck. Just that it's like I don't think he's awful.
How about the next one from the same person? How to Win Friends and Influence People. He knows every line from Coyote Ugly.
I mean, they look impressed.
If someone can find me the broads that make that face when they find out a guy knows every line to the movie Coyote Ugly, you just point them my direction. Okay.
Next one is a video edit
All right.
from Gross John.
Hold on, let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Oh boy, Gross John always
Let's
comes
see
with
it.
the.
He always comes through with the memes.
I've been working on my third book. I
Wow,
launched
this
my
is good.
online store, and I also wrote a song for my mommy, Butterfly. And my favorite subject is science because I really want to be a scientist inventor and invent a machine that
This
I
was the
call my
best.
EST. It stands for Emotional
You gotta
Sensory
watch it.
Toy because it has a sensor in the eye and it uses AI so it thinks like a human.
I told you she rules.
Amazing.
I don't need it in my life. Maybe it's organic,
Wow.
but it feels forced.
Wow,
Are you
Brad.
losing your mind?
I might be going a little bit nuts. Maybe that's just my own like bias creeping in that I just because I don't care, I'm assuming that everybody else doesn't care.
Calm down.
Yeah.
The day I was born, I looked in your eyes and felt your sweet love. I knew you
Where's
were
this
one
from?
when I
What?
opened my eyes
No idea.
and heard from above.
And I am not trying to be disrespectful, but as far as I'm concerned, that is literal hell on earth.
Why are you being so mean to the little girl?
Oh,
She's sad.
This is fake news.
One day you'll fly.
No, just no.
You're gonna make
no.
her cry.
We are, no.
Can we all rate out of 10?
Right now?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
2.
Wow.
Maybe 1.
I would rather you pull my fingernails.
Well, I'm in third grade, so you see.
I get that, but you do have to, at a certain point have to grow up and understand that people aren't going to agree with you all the time. That negative stuff is going to be said.
So,
Yep.
suck it up, I guess.
That was a dark episode.
What the fuck?
Now I feel bad and I didn't even do anything.
That poor girl.
What do you mean?
Why would you do that? That was awful.
You both did that.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do
Dane
that.
said nothing but positive
Yeah,
things
me
about
and
this
Ian.
little girl.
That was a smear campaign.
You
against
better
me.
rehabilitate your image
Are you the
quickly.
this is gross, John? Are you the person who's like smearing Henry Cavill too? Like, where are all of these fake videos and fake sources coming from? I want to know.
I mean, seems legit.
It seems very legit.
Seems real to me.
All right, gross, John, you're a legend. That was incredible.
Thank you.
All right.
Hannah Claire Brimolo watching The Fast and the Furious. And then watching Fast and Furious 9.
No, didn't you see no. All right, we're moving on. Hannah Claire. It says well, what is she on now? She's only on 4. So she could look like
She's
that.
not even on 4 though.
She's
is she?
like
She hasn't
halfway through
started
4.
it.
She could eventually like look like that, or maybe more like Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt. Anyone?
I don't know.
No. All right. I do feel bad for because it's so clear that she doesn't want to be watching it. Like,
Well, that's what you get when you make a wager.
A bet is a bet.
You have to
ladies and
do
gentlemen.
things.
So
The next one was funny.
I did take my
Wesley. I wish Wesley were here to react to this.
That was oh my god.
Shout out to Wesley for providing the drinks in studio.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley.
Somebody in the chat whose name I'm not going to say says spoiler alert, she's not watching any of them. I mean, she could like literally just be Wikipediaing them.
She has integrity. She has more integrity than that.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
All right, we're moving on.
She wouldn't have such specific issues with each one of them if it were.
Look at that Wesley.
All right. Wesley is incredible. That doesn't even look like him either. Does it?
He just turns into a different person when he's on here.
Oh my god. Wait, oh, that's me. Is that supposed to be me? Are those my glasses? They don't even look like my glasses from there. That is a fantastic job of making my face look smooth and wrinkle-free.
I'm a little elf to the right.
I didn't even notice that. You kind of look like the quartering there a little bit.
Oh, how dare you.
PCC Christmas.
And then Hannah Claire. Well, Hannah Claire should be like bigger too because she loves this like Christmas movies, right? So maybe you guys should also be bigger. And also, I'd like to point out that that's about my weight, right? Like that's about my weight
And your height.
and my height.
Yeah.
Wait, then is that me?
Santa's got the drip in this one.
I would be wearing it, but out of all, like I wear a hat every day. How does Santa not have a hat on in that picture? I ask you.
Yeah, I'm not seeing your Marvel hat, by the way. Where's
Oh,
that?
I forgot. Oh, guys, I will wear it tomorrow.
Not
I
living up
apologize.
to your promises. So here's what happened, guys. We had a Secret Santa here, and Brett's Secret Santa gifted him a lovely snapback hat with the Marvel logo on it, and he has committed to wearing it for just one day on the show.
Well, I'll wear it forward for the beginning of the show. It will then be turned backwards.
No, you better you better wear it forward for the whole time and just, pretend to be a Marvel shill for a day.
Do I have to?
Step into the shoes of
like,
Caper 2X.
I feel like I'm letting Caper 2X win if I do that. Caper
it technically has a very small microscopic Marvel logo
on the back
when it's flipped around as well.
Caper 2X also gets to win every time I have to talk about how much DC keeps screwing up, even though because I'm honest and I love DC, but they keep screwing up. That keeps happening. So, all right, we got a couple more here, guys. They really do feel bad for her.
Hannah Claire is
writer for timcast.com.
going to kill each Fast and Furious movie.
She's moving on to Fast and Furious.
To the afterlife.
I also like the detail that they got the names right, that it's the Fast and the Furious. And then when you get down later, the next one is called Fast and Furious. Like it's not called the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I got confused with that. Like why change it then?
It's kind of like when they...
You wouldn't get it.
Well, like the thing to do now is like... a franchise makes two good movies and then they do a soft reboot where they pretend like the bad movies that happened after that didn't happen, kind of like Halloween did Halloween 2, and then they had like a bunch of Halloween movies like Halloween H2O that nobody actually liked except for me. I liked Halloween H2O, but my taste notwithstanding, it was the early 2000s. Then when they rebooted it, they just pretended like all the movies after Halloween 2 never happened. So they just called it Halloween, even though the first one was called Halloween. So it's kind of like that. All right. We got one more. Are you ready? It's a video. Of course, this one from Gross John, which means it's probably going to be defamatory towards me once again.
I can't wait.
We were about to find out.
React.
So it says PCC dance party. Oh, God.
Hey, do you like techno?
I don't.
As far as it relates to like media consumption and like what is on offer today for young people, as far as like seeing themselves on screen,
we all feel that way.
They are not seeing their authentic, desirable roles on screen.
So then, how is so the men remind me never to shave again.
What is this?
What is happening?
Right?
I'm wearing a white.
Right?
He's like taquito, very spicy.
Right?
I'm tripping right now.
No.
I see like, oh good, it's got 10,000 likes, but 1 trillion dislikes. You would never know.
YouTube was tired of getting dislike bombed on their YouTube rewinds where
Yeah.
they would like invite Will Smith to be like, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
No.
Every
Oh,
time.
someone think of the children.
Deep throat those
Days.
Think of the children.
No.
Waffle Sensei said,
Be man.
space,
oops, oops.
Be man.
bros.
This whole thing is MK Ultra.
Is this a dream? This is a hate crime.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
These people host a pop culture podcast.
And you don't know
and you
my
don't know-
obscure reference.
Somewhere right now, Hannah Claire is just like, why do I suddenly feel this feeling of like existential dread?
Dread.
This movie's not necessary. This movie's not necessary. This movie's not necessary. This movie's not necessary.
You're right.
Oh my god.
This story is so good. Better.
Warner
Look at her
Bros.
get down.
L's all around.
Think of the children.
No. Olivia Wilde.
Right here, right now.
What is happening? Yeah.
Highly recommend.
That does not count as a favorite dessert. Come up with a
Shove
with like a
those
baked
dates.
good.
Dates down the throat. I want
You just
dates
got
down
clip
the
throat.
throat. Yeah. Deep throat. Those dates.
That would come back to haunt you.
Nah.
Dude, that is incredible.
She's got some sweet moves.
Amazing.
I mean, the how much rotoscoping did it take to do that? Holy crap. I love it. I kind of want to save it and make it and like post it on my Instagram. Like, and just be like, this is our podcast, and see how many people can not look. Like, how many
It's
people
like the first thing you post on your official timeline about the podcast.
like
Everyone's just like, what? What is your job?
I kind of want to post it and be like, if you're looking for something wild and wacky to check out,
Wild and wacky.
We're so zany and unique.
we are so
And quirky.
zany. We are just so different here. We are so different. Guys, thank you so much for all of the, oh my gosh, and those are just the best ones. They've been curated for us. I made sure to not look at any of them beforehand.
Neither did I.
And holy crap, the videos, Drosh John, you are an artist, my friend. You are an artist. That was incredible. And somebody, at the very least, what somebody should do is make a supercut of just the Hannah Claire dancing and send it to her on social media.
Yes.
Please.
She would love that.
Gross John is the man. That is for sure.
Thank you for that, Gross John.
Incredible.
Let's watch the rest of, read the rest of the chats.
Do it.
BMF Nate Dogg said, that's similar to my first kiss. Was your first kiss with Katy Perry or Maddie Healy or Halsey?
Yeah, I mean, well, whose wasn't? Really, like, it is what it is.
And then he said, the cat is more Mary than Mary is. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, it kind of overdoes the under the eyes thing there.
Look, it's all natural. This dark eyes circle. It's all natural, baby.
But it's from, is it from sleeping too much or not sleeping enough?
It's both. It's both at the same time.
I both sleep too much and then don't sleep enough at all.
I'm either sleeping for 4 hours or for 14.
Well, yeah, like sometimes like you're like, I can sleep all day and all night. And I'm like, but then like I send you a message like about something to cover at like 2 a.m. and you respond. I'm like, I thought you were sleeping all day and all night. What's up with that?
I could, but will I?
Well, it's always so hard when you got to get up early for work.
Yeah. Potatoes for Seamus said, Brett is the best. Mary's okay. Dane is great.
It's always in a different order. Every day somebody's just okay. Every day somebody's great, and every day somebody else just.
I'm always
exists.
great.
The psychological game continues.
Yes, it does.
Corey Anderson said, I have an internet crush on Brett Cooper.
Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Internet
They've done
crushes.
one thing that they've done at the Daily Wire is they've done a great job of like
Monetizing Brett Cooper.
Well, she's very good at not just at the show, and she's obviously very intelligent. But they do the thing where they do like the ask like Brett Cooper like answers questions about her that are posted online. You know, something that would be a very
they're following the format that I think GQ started.
Yes,
with that like following Google
I've never
search
seen the show.
trends
But they
about
also,
yourself.
But they also do things like where they had like Brett Cooper go shop for a Christmas tree. Brett Cooper goes and gets the best pumpkin
That's like
spice latte.
lifestyle content that women are into. on YouTube.
And she's very likable, so she does that very, very well.
Mark Rice.
What's her show
said,
like?
I only watch the segments once in a while, and
Is there a longer version of it or something?
That might be the Daily Wire Plus stuff that you have to go to watch that.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't do that, but I watch the YouTube videos when sometimes I like to get her take on when she covers similar stuff to we do.
Yeah.
Stuff we do.
Mark Rice said, Mary and Gay Boys Christmas podcast name change for the rest of the year.
I'm afraid not, my friend.
That's so rude.
That is very rude.
Bobcat said, let Hannah Claire know I watched the entire Fast and Furious franchise over the weekend. How is that even possible?
Okay, so...
Did you not bathe or eat or sleep?
Are we talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Saturday and Sunday?
It would have to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No way.
Like, if we're talking, like, the first 4 movies go under 2 hours, I think. Or
how many hours is it in the whole franchise so far?
I think Hannah Claire counted it up at one point, so it was like 27 or something like that.
I don't believe you, Bobcat. How's that even possible?
I guess it's humanly possible.
Bobcat, I need to know.
If you just sat there with your eyes clamped open for straight like 27 hours or something.
What if he does the thing that the kids do nowadays and they play it at 1.5 speeds?
Maybe that would make me go into a trance.
Bobcat,
some sort of MK Ultra trigger.
Bobcat, what is your favorite of the Fast and the Furious franchise, and what is your least favorite?
And why is it the best one is the third?
No.
Okay.
Rhaegar Targaryen said, Brett is the type of Santa that would eat every single Christmas cookie at all the houses in a single night.
There's a really great meme also. It's a screenshot from a very famous segment where Stone Cold Steve Austin beats up Booker T in a grocery store and then drinks like a bunch of milk. And there's a meme. It says Santa after his 1,977,000th glass of milk, and it's him just like against the wall, like covered in milk down his front.
It would literally kill a man to drink that much milk. Caper2X said, Mary, that's why I'm not crying. I only wait and DC screws up again. Plus, true Marvelites have a sense of humor. Looking forward to Brett's
cap.
Oh, yeah.
The hat. We'll see about that. Well, like, if you're going to keep being rude.
His only successes are DC failures.
Yeah. And like, look, I have no problem reporting on the DC failures. It will hopefully make it that much better when they actually do something right 2,000 years from now when I'm dead.
Or when you've uploaded your consciousness.
To an AI program.
To an AI program sponsored by Disney.
Yes.
Biddy Beasley said, Brett, since it's review day, thoughts on Immortal Technique and ICP?
Oh.
Mary, MCR, The Used, or Fallout Boy, or were you too young for all that?
MCR is My Chemical Romance?
Yes.
Wait, what?
It's My Chemical Romance.
I was too young for all that, but I think I liked Fallout Boy the most. I kind of dislike My Chemical Romance, actually.
I like them a lot.
I like a few songs from The Used a lot.
I was more of a Marianas Trench fan.
LOL.
What?
No, it's a band from Canada. It's the lead singer's a total tool.
A lot of them tend to be.
Yes, but as for the other ones, can't stand ICP. Immortal Technique.
What's ICP?
Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
In general, I tended to make fun of.
Is my buddy.
I tended to make fun. Like, I really hated. I wouldn't classify Immortal Technique this way necessarily, but I hated intellectual rap. I hated it when they tried to make themselves sound. That was a big problem in Minnesota.
Oh my gosh.
Atmosphere.
The TikTok discourse I saw about Insane Clown Posse.
They're not. I mean, that's not intellectual, but I'm saying.
They were literally doing a whole like discourse about how Insane Clown Posse is actually communist propaganda that's like against the rich. Like, what?
Rhaegar the Targaryen says, I was more of a Mars Volta fan. Definitely the Mars Volta. There's a lot of like they were
Juggalos forgive you, Brett.
Well, that is good. Thank you. I did love the Mars Volta, but that was never my bag. And a lot of like the underground wannabe intellectual rap just made me cringe. Before cringe was a thing, right? Like all of it was supposed to sound like you were much smarter than you were when there was already smart rap out there. And yeah, I couldn't stand like Unknown Prophets, Atmosphere, Anticon, all of these groups that kind of made their bag as being deep. You know, I was like, I don't want to listen to music about deep, meaningful issues. I want to listen to music about gangbanging. I want to listen to music about premarital sex. I want to listen to music about
Specifically premarital.
children
wow.
out of wedlock. I wanted to listen to music about a lot of cultural issues that were, because it was supposed to be listened to ironically by white kids from the suburbs, but it always came off as more authentic to me because the other stuff just felt like very try hard.
Someone said Brett is anti-juggalo.
I'm not pro juggalo, but I'm not anti juggalo. I have no opinion on juggalos.
Juggalo neutral.
Someone said, Mary, how do you dislike MCR? I just do. I don't have to like it, right?
I liked it.
Fall Out Boy is better than MCR.
No, it's not.
What do you mean? Why do you feel so strongly about it?
I used to
Do you
like My Chemical Romance. No, I don't dislike either. I just think My Chemical Romance is better.
They've got some good songs. I'm just not a huge fan. And also, it turns out that a lot of their fans, and as well as like as they've gained new fans, have turned into like the gender
You know the lead,
people.
the
like,
lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard, is cousins with Joe Rogan.
Really?
Yeah.
Like first cousins?
I don't know, but Joe Rogan confirmed it.
I wonder if they're like like really close.
I doubt it.
Related.
He was like,
That's funny.
I know him. Yeah, and he's family. And then he was like, anyway.
Like there was already good,
Interesting.
like growing up, you just listened to a lot of like Jay-Z was like the big thing at that time, like for our generation, because Tupac and Biggie had already died, and all the big rappers that the other ones that were coming out were all the mainstream ones that I just didn't care about, but loved Jay-Z at that time. But most of it was still Talib Kweli, also really, really good, though very racist, kind of in Mos Def. All good stuff. I love rap music. It's I was never a Fall Out Boy fan. Though I would say that I thought it impressive that they managed to come back so strong after quitting for.
Well, only because they started making pop radio music.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like-
I was like, I remember even as not a fan of them, I was like, they're on the Victoria's Secret fashion show. That's not very punk rock. Like,
Dude, AFI had one song. How is AFI better? To that
I was just watching
ran the
this
guy in
video
shorts.
by the Cozy Representative. Shout out to Carter. He also watches this channel. And he made this video about the emo feud between Taking Back Sunday and Brand New. And it was this huge, long, drawn-out thing where they made songs against each other, like referencing each other. And it all happened to be about, like, one of them made out with a girl that the other one liked first. And it was like a nothing thing that they made up after. And now everyone just thinks that they hate each other.
Do you guys want to know the time where America stopped being a country?
when?
Officially?
When?
Do you guys know
When
the song?
MCR broke up.
Hey, hitting. No. Do you know the song Hey There, Delilah?
Yes.
He didn't even sleep with a girl. He didn't even do anything with a girl. It was just a girl at the party that he thought was cute, and he wrote
And
a song.
that's
And he sent for her, and that was it.
okay. That's when we stopped being a proper country.
Yeah, that's because like that's like major
Why?
cuck energy. Because it's like
That is fairly, but still, like,
Hey there, Delilah.
I mean,
Like,
it's not like cuck energy as bad as that song by The Killers.
which one?
That's like literally the cuck anthem. It's like their biggest hit. What is it called?
Somebody told me what? Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, Mr. Brightside is literally the cuck anthem. And it became really popular. But like if you look at the lyrics, it's about him imagining like this girl that he was with another guy.
Interesting.
the chat says, I think that
Kind of a psyop.
I'm loving the chat right now. Music is a weird one to get into because music is one of those things where it's like people get very defensive about their genres. Like I prefer female singers usually in the electronic space. Tara Jr. is really good. If you guys want to check out Tara Jr. or Kiara, that's Kiarra. Like I love that genre, but it's only in music that people hate on other genres of music. Like nobody who loves like comedies is like dramas are for losers. Like people who like specific genres of music will hate on other genres of music, and that never made any sense to me.
Yeah. Waffle Sensei said it's not enough to not be a juggalo. You must be actively anti-juggalo.
Yes. Yeah. No. Look.
I'm anti-deadheads for sure.
Well, like who's a deadhead still? Really?
I don't know
like,
what that
I
is.
mean, they launched a loungewear brand, which was
I guess people still go to Bonnaroo. So
like I don't know what that's about.
I am actively anti-MGK.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everyone should be actively
And he
anti-MGK.
used to be
Machine
like
Gun Kelly?
he
Yes.
used to be an
Okay,
emo kid, like he
Also
was
because it's too close
always
to
like in that scene.
It's also too close to MJG, who was a rapper with 8 Ball and MJG back in the day. Like, there's a lot that MGK should be made fun of for, and one is that.
You should just pick a musical genre to ruin and stick to it.
Yeah, don't ruin multiple genres, will you? All right, guys. Dane, my friend, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy Meme Review?
So much.
So much?
So much.
What was your favorite one?
Oh, the one where Hannah Claire was dancing was pretty great.
That was pretty
That
incredible.
was pretty.
Yeah.
And the one where you were chastising the child was pretty funny.
And shout out Gross John for those.
Yeah.
Gross John's an artist.
Yes.
Gross John is an artist.
And he's low key, not gross.
No,
What I've heard. The streets say.
Clean John.
Dapper John.
John Draper.
John Draper.
Yes.
There we go.
All right, Dane, let everyone know where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Dane Font. And now I shall spell that out for you.
Okay.
DANEFONT. And before I go, I like that you always say you can look at pictures of me on Instagram. I give a hearty chortle. Oh, however the hell you guys say
Hearty chortle?
Chortle, sorry.
Chortle.
Hearty chortle.
Hearty chortle.
Yes.
Yes.
Learning words.
Mary, where can they find you?
Well, as Dane said, you can find pictures of me on Instagram at Mary Archived and have a hearty chortle at my inane thoughts on Twitter, which is also Mary Archived. Thanks for sending in all of the memes. And if you want to have your memes reacted to in the next meme review, then join our subreddit. The last Super Chats is from BMF Nate Dogg. He said, you need to hold up scorecards for the memes. Good idea.
Also in the chat, and again, name I'm not going to pronounce, says, can you guys cover the YSL? Can you guys cover the YSL case? We don't do a lot of music stuff here, but Gunna from YSL did just recently get out of jail. And like now there's all the, like this is where I do like, I go through like my Instagram and there's like people calling him a snitch and they're like, he snitched because he got out of jail. So they're like, he obviously copped a plea when he did not cop a plea per se. He basically admitted that if he would have gone to trial, he would have lost and got out on like time served and stuff like that and has like 5 years of probation. But it's kind of a fascinating thing because they're bringing down YSL, which is basically a street gang who produces a lot of rap music too. Obviously Gunna, Young Thug are both really, really good artists. They're bringing them down on RICO charges, which is like every time we cover anything law related, it's like it's kind of a non sequitur, or it's like kind of a dead stop because we're not lawyers. But it's just interesting.
Speak for yourself.
So yeah, you're a lawyer.
Are you a lawyer?
No.
Was I unaware?
Only
of
on
this?
TV.
So, but it is interesting, and I do still love Gunna's music, so maybe he'll be making more now that he's out. So, all right, guys.
We've got one last super chat from the last of my kind that said, marathon Star Wars in one day took 23 hours and 30 minutes.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh. I could not do that. All right, guys. Before we go, could you like this video, please? Could you leave a comment on this video, please? Could you also subscribe to the channel, please? Or any of the videos for that matter that we put out. It helps us in the algorithm greatly. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I am on Instagram at Brett Dasovic. For the show, if you'd like to listen rather than watch, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we are on Twitter at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis. I don't know why you'd want to be on Facebook, but you can do that there if you want. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we're at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.